wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, my old friend, you get me at the end. At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, my old friend, you get me at the end.
What's going on, folks? It's time for another late night THFC rant here at THFC Rants. How you guys doing tonight? Let's get that microphone a little bit closer. Saturday night. You guys are welcome to jump in now. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. And it's been a weird week. So I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Let's see who's in the chat. AG's here. He doesn't like Nuno. Thinks he's going to be a horrible appointment. I do disagree. I do. But you're welcome to your opinion. You're welcome to it. Mr. K's in the house. Mr. K, if you want to jump in now, you're more than welcome. Aman says Nuno. Jade Bad. Last time I checked, Nuno is our manager. Stop whining. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But that's what we're here to discuss tonight. David Kinzet. Hello, my fellow Yids. What's going on, David? Who else is here? Sonia Sobers. What's up, Sonia? How are you doing? Hello to you, Lionel Messi. I hope you had a great birthday, mate. Alex Burleton's in the house. David again. And Eunice, long time no see, fella. JJ Tubb, what's going on? What's up, Will? Not much. What's up with you? Wobbles is wobbling in the house here. Hello, how's it going? Anyway, folks, go ahead and hit that link. Jump on the stream here. If you so want to, but Nuno Espírito Santo could be the possible new manager, or he could not be. But while we're waiting for folks to jump in the back end, let's do a little work and promote what we have to promote. Let's see here. We've got our Patreon members. Comments out of the way here. Spartan 7 Gaming, Wayne Bonner, Mama Coach, Celery Agent, AG, Gogama, Tony Conim, Alex Burleton, Bossbird TV. These are the folks that help support the channel every single month with a little bit of a monetary donation that helps us bring you these live shows. We work pretty dang hard to do this. We have 5 shows a week right now, so that's about 3 hours worth of work per time for the most part. Maybe between 2 and 3 hours, 15 hours a week, and every little bit helps for us to get along. So don't feel shy. If you want to become a Patreon, go ahead and do that, and or become a member on YouTube. Just click the join button right there next to the description of the video. Welcome, Mr. K.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Also, too, a great way to help out the channel is to head on over to www.thfcrants.com, and you can pick up some cool merchandise. That way you get something for your contribution, and that also helps the channel. And so don't be shy about that either. If you have any requests of any particular merchandise that you'd like to see, make sure that you go ahead and do that. And if you are new to the show, if this is your first time watching, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. The more likes we have, the more the videos seen, the more subscribers we have, the more reach, the more YouTube pushes out our video into the algorithm. Also, make sure to get into the comments section. That's where the most fun is had. But yeah.
Yep.
Mr. K, how are you doing tonight?
Not too bad. How are you? You know what? Something happened while watching the Denmark game. And I was thinking to myself, why am I paying so much attention to the effort that these players are making? And I realized it was because Eriksen had fallen down. He was stricken. And our hearts went out to him. Because why? Because he was one of us. He was during that time when Poch was at his ascendancy. So we had an attachment to him, even though it ended a little bit bitterness for some fans. when that incident happened, we reached out. We remembered why we liked what we liked about the spirit that he had, that way showed for us. And we put that attachment to that team. And they fought for their badge. And not only did they fight individually for their badge, they fought as a collective unit. They hunted in packs, they defended in packs. And they looked like world-class players just from that elevation of heart. And I think to myself, that's what we want for our club. We want that pride. You know, so it was a little reminder. It was kind of really great. I enjoyed that match thoroughly, absolutely thoroughly. It could have been 7 or 8-0.
Could have been. I thought Wales looked really good out the gate, but other than that, it was pretty much an all Denmark show for this, especially for the second half. But a couple more comments here. We got Jade Bad saying, "Where's Cody?" Cody pops in and out of this late night stream as he wants. I know recently he's been having some internet issues, so that's why you haven't seen him on camera much in streams. It's just kind of voice only. This is Cody is a regular here on this stream, but it's not one that he necessarily hosts. But he may join if he so chooses to join. Alex is here again. He says he is a good choice. I think people are just kind of going off and on about the different manager choices here. Let's get Klinsmann in. At least he loves the club. I don't think he's a very good manager. I don't think he has the pedigree to manage at Spurs. Kay Alexander says, "What's up? Evening, everyone." How do we go from a winner mentality Kanto to Nuno? Nuno's a pretty good winner. I mean, he hasn't won trophies or anything like that, but his win record is far better than any of the other people we've been linked to recently.
I think when it comes to manager expectation, we're going to have to look at our current position and take it from there rather than what we expected it to have been. I think that expectation is still there in a lot of people.
Yeah,
top 4.
He has made top 4 before in other leagues that he's worked in. He did it Valencia, and then left after they went out of the Euros. Before that team went into the Champions League, and then you got Jamie here says must be something seriously wrong with Nuno for even considering coming to the club. Something, yeah, but I mean I don't know why he would want to come to this mess. Martin Sheridan, is the boy Hotspur on Patreon? Don't know. Don't care. All I do know is that he does advertise on OneFootball and ads on his stuff. So I couldn't tell you if he has a Patreon. We're not associated with him in any way. Your shows are dope. Well, thank you very much, Jade. Appreciate that. Jamie says Mason loves the club. Parker loves the club. Levy claims to love the club, but they shouldn't be anywhere near it. I'm not doubting anybody's love for the club per se, but I definitely agree that they shouldn't be anywhere near it.
I don't know. I think Mason's quite good for the youth team. He's done quite good work there, and I think his experience and his gentle approach certainly helps. So in terms of where he is in the club, he's just not in the front. That's all. Please. After
what he did during his stint as the manager, I don't respect him at all. I don't respect all the people who have no spine. Yeah.
I mean, that was basically. I mean, that last interview he did was that was a bit too much. It was OTT.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. If you have no spine, I don't respect you. So, if you crumble, if you talk a big game and then you crumble under pressure, I don't respect you.
Well, it is what it is now. It's gone. I mean, we're just hoping he doesn't come back for the friendlies, because that seems like the real danger right now. So no matter how bad we feel right now, it could actually get worse, but we'll see.
I mean, the friendlies are friendlies. I'm not too concerned about that. Who's the bigger gangster, Bosper or Mr. K? I don't know. Who is the bigger gangster?
I think Bobsper must be.
Bobsper's bigger gangster.
I'd say Bobsper. Yeah. A real gangster doesn't show his strength, so it's got to be Bobsper.
England as a country is divided, don't have expectations Mr. K, I think isn't every country just divided right now about? I don't think there's any English country that has total unity.
Thank you, Jade Bad.
And,
Making me think.
David says, stick a cardboard Bill Nixon in the dugout better than Mason. 100%.
I would actually agree that if you stuck some of his sayings up and just reminded the players to maybe recite that every day, there may be an effect.
Maybe. Could be. But what's your position on the manager thing? I haven't seen you really kind of talk about it.
Well, the thing is, I'm kind of like in a semi-chase behind Brian, Daigle, and Danny, where kind of like I'm trying to rise above it to see what the overall picture really is, because there's an awful lot of chaos, a lot of noise. It's like a big cloud with lightning flying through it. If you rise above it, you start to see a pattern. You start to see the overall gameplay. And for me, it's like what I've seen so far, either it's happened totally by accident and people have just been in a major incompetent way, or alternatively, someone has their own plan of what to do and everything in between is just pure orchestration. In terms of what the manager should be, I think Bob Spur and a few other people have kind of pinpointed it and said that, what's the point of having a manager if he's not being backed? So whatever manager you bring in has to work in that dynamic. Paratici has been brought in, so a director of football is kind of good. If we can nail down a manager, we will see what will happen with the transfer and the pre-season friendlies. The pre-season friendlies are important for the team and the manager to bond, because he needs to start instilling his ideas and his philosophy of play into the players. He can only do that if he begins with pre-season with them. If he misses that, we'll be in that season when Poch was saying that he had the worst pre-season ever. And this might be even worse than that one. And look where we ended up. He got sacked that season.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't disagree with you on the benefits of that, right? Of the.
I mean, I want a good man. All I want is whichever coach comes in, I just want a good man. That, as you said, he stands up for what he believes in, whatever his status, whatever his experience. If he stands up for what he believes in, and then is crushed down by the system, then fair dues. But if he's going to be coming in and being a yes man, I think Nuno coming in would. I think Nuno's got a very sort of like upright sort of manner, but at the same time, he does kowtow as well to the management. He has to. He's got no choice. His position. He hasn't got any trophies to smack back at the chairman. I think that's where Conte's personality is way too strong for Levy. Way too strong. And if you look at our spine of a team, apart from a few characters, where's the guts of the team? And if Levy has been meddling with player selections for 20 years or 15 years, then it kind of shows on the pitch. I mean, we've seen examples of what our defensive play is like on the wings. And, we seriously don't seem to be waking up to the fact that behind the whole scene, Levy's manipulating. Why is he doing so? I mean, that's the big mystery. We need a psychiatrist. We need someone to come on here that understands the brain better than we do, maybe. Because I think that Levy person has got immense amounts of pressure where he's trying to pretend that he doesn't have the pressure. Because he's turning into a narcissist around the world.
I just think he's a narcissist.
I know, but at the same time, there's been no other year where his image has been flown around globally with meme upon meme. And especially the manager thing, because that's actually made other fans pay attention. And they're the ones creating the memes. And
I said it on Bob's first stream earlier, that when the narcissist gets kind of backed into the corner and called out, they double down. Instead of doing what they should in order to solve the issue, they double down, right? Just like I know I use this analogy then too, just like Trump did with, once he became president, if he would have just kept his mouth shut for 3 years, he'd probably still be in the White House, right? But because he couldn't help but put his own foot in his mouth, time after time after time, when it was just so easy just to not say anything and just let it go by, they continue into that destructive behavior because they feel that they're right. So that's what Daniel Levy's doing now. His vision is so right in his mind that regardless of what is actually happening in reality. He's just continually to move down that path, which, because it isn't working, is self-destructive. So, that's the problem.
Well, I tell you the truth. I mean, while all this has been going on, I've been taking like a main break from current affairs that are going on with Tottenham and just watching them from afar. Where I have been putting my energies into is other networks of other fan bases, just to get a feel of what's going on there. And through Paxton Road TV, they're affiliated to a network called FTB. It's like a cross-platform network for different types of fans all over. Football first, in other words. So I went on a few channels and through the FTB channel network, and one of them was something called the Armory, which is like an Arsenal fan base stuff. So I was sitting there, I was listening, and they sounded 100% like us. No word of lie. There were 6 people there, and they sounded just like one of our panels. And they were talking about the same thing, the same way. And one of the guys was saying, no, the management is evil. And the other guys are saying, look, we can get this player. And the other guys are saying, no, it's all, smoke and mirrors. And it was identical to us. And they went through the same type of steps that we're currently going through, where they got a new stadium. There were loads of promises were being made. The new owners are billionaires. The ESL, they were part of it too. So I think to myself, as much as Levy may be a narcissist and probably required to be that way, there's a lot of other billionaires acting exactly the same way to their fan base, the same way we're being treated.
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now that Stan Kroenke is a narcissist. I know from being from St. Louis, Missouri, and what they did with the Rams and all the other sports franchises that you have. There's no difference between the way Stan Kroenke operates. Stan Kroenke is just a little bit, I guess you could say, more open about it, right? Like all he cares about is cash. Very clear on that. He's a little more open and honest to that fact. He owns sports clubs to make cash. And as tax havens, as the expenditure, it's a high expense business, right? So, you can make a lot of revenue, generate a lot of capital, and yet not have as heavy a tax burden. I mean, yeah, I could see that they're doing the same thing. The only difference is that when they were going through their new stadium, they were winning trophies, right?
Yeah,
we're not.
That was the difference. Was that they had sort of like a bit more aggression in terms of what they wanted, and the numbers that they spoke about in terms of transfers were like at least 15 to 20 million pound more than what we were thinking on our players. And they were actually talking about Sabitzer as if they were actually buying him. And they were talking about White as if they actually did buy, that they were nearly finishing off buying him. And these are all the same names that we went through. We're quite seriously. I mean, we're still talking about Sabitzer. And yet, on their channels, they're talking as if they're more or less going to put the bid in like tomorrow. So all of this tells me that there's a lot more to the smoke and mirrors and noise that's been created in terms of speculation about whether we should go for this player or that player, when in reality, it's agents at work. The agents are pushing him through that club, then they're pushing him through that club. And it's a little bit more complex. When you look behind the scenes, I think Matt Hayes in one of the previous streams talked about the transfer podcast. I do listen to Duncan Castles, but not just him, but other people that come on that show too. And just to try to get a better understanding of different, oh, look, Bobby Singh's put up a super chat. Good on him.
Mr. Bob with a super chat. Bobby, big up, guys. Surely everything is geared up for Mason to be in charge for the start of the season. Putting my agenda to one side, it's now realistic. Realistic, but sad. I won't follow the news, and I'll watch it on replay. Won't watch it live. Don't want to give him the ratings.
I think Bob's main point on this is that if Mason comes in, then everyone can see what utter shambles Levy is.
They won't, though. They won't. They'll praise Mason just like they did at the end of last season.
No,
he's the best, most winningest Tottenham Hotspur manager ever. academy product, 66% win percentage, 2 points per game. He is a genius. That's what they'll say, Bob.
Winning this.
I'm telling you right now. Mason takes a job. People will get behind him. Then you won't be able to touch him because he's an academy prospect who loves or a product who loves the club. You won't be able to touch him. He'll be untouchable.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the right coaching badges right now to even take that position. What's going on?
Doesn't matter. They'll give it to him anyway.
Fast track. Yeah. No, it's Levy's not that stupid. Trust me. I mean, he can't be. Please tell me he's not. Look, he's got Paratici. Come on. Look, Juve is not exactly a small team, right? To get their main director of football, it's like, unless Juve was looking to get rid of him anyway, maybe going past his sell-by.
Paratici will quit before the transfer window closes.
That's speculation. No, he'll start. There's too much that's already happened.
They're already fighting about who to put his manager, right? Paratici has his idea of how he wants things to do, and Daniel Levy is getting in the way of it. Right? Why did Mitchell leave? Why did Mitchell leave?
True, I get that. He left because he couldn't work with him, and then he got put on gardening leave, which meant that he can't talk about anything for a while. I think 18 months, 16 months gardening leave. We were paying for somebody to sit at home, just so that he couldn't say things to give Levy a bad image. And there'd be enough water underneath the bridge by the time he did say something that people would say, well, it's too late now. That was in the past. Let's move on.
Brian McGuire says, anybody have any new latest news on Spurs, man? No new news. No new news other than Daniel Levy. See what I've tweeted out today. What have I tweeted out today? My profile. Let's see. The news is that Graham Potter, Mr. Delusional, would reject any THC offer as he wants a top 4 club.
Well, it's a trend now, isn't it? It's a trend. You have to basically, when something is trending, in order for you to remain cool, you've got to stay with it. And right now, there must be a trend amongst the managers association. Like, you have to say no to Tottenham before the fan base says no to you, because there seems to be a merry-go-round going there.
Yeah, but when you, and then my tweet, my quote tweet was, so from a mid-table Sweden side to a mid-table championship side to a 16th placed Prem side, and he feels that he deserves to be in a top 4 club.
Well,
it's the definition of delusion.
Yeah, but if you look at it from that point of view, it seems to be trending upwards, doesn't it? I mean, look at the points you've pointed out. They seem to be on a slow and steady upward trend. Maybe he should be taking over a team that should be taking over 10th first before he jumps up to us. And maybe in a way, Nuno has already proven that he's already at that case. You know, if you look at Poch, for example, he was pretty much at that situation as well. About 10th, 8th, thereabouts.
For sure, Nuno has. Right, that's not debatable. Right, Nuno has finished top higher than 10th.
So if you're going to talk about managers, I guarantee you for the next 48 hours, we're going to be linked with Mancini on a hardcore way. Because it's winning. Anyone who's a winner, we're going to get associated to as well.
And then Jade says, guys, let's not forget Code is still present in other parts of the world. Levy must be waiting to see stadium situation next season. Are you guys on lockdown over there in the UK? It's okay?
It's got delayed. Our opening has been delayed by a month, I think, or something like that. I mean, I don't pay. I tell you the truth, for Heung in East London, our life hasn't changed for like more than a year. So everything's exactly the same as it was a year ago. So the rest of the country, they keep getting all these notices from the government, but the government is worse than our board, if you watch the news in any way. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's people in Wembley right now with 20,000 fans in Wembley for the Euros. Bars and pubs outside. You have 30,000 Scots coming to London for that match there. I mean, obviously, it's not like it was when you were locked down in your house.
So, it's a two-way sword. It's a two-way sword. They want to open up, but at the same time, no. What happened was about a week or two ago, a new variant of COVID hit the UK in a big way, and this new variant kind of really set us back. So, it's one of those situations where the incompetence of the government can't prevent these things from happening when everyone's telling them it's about to happen. And it's the same thing with Spurs. If you look at the board, it's like everyone's telling them, 1-2 players, and you can win this cup or win that cup. As Bob over here says, whoever comes in right now will just be a shell working under the body of a restrictive company, be it Mason or Mancini. It won't make a difference. I think as a Spurs fan, you want to hope. Like, for example, what Poch did.
It'll make a difference for my mental health, Bob. It'll make a difference for my mental health. Right? It may not make a difference on the pitch. But it'll make a difference for my mental health. Right? If we actually have a manager. Even though I don't like Graham Potter, I'd rather have Graham Potter than Ryan Mason. And it's not that I dislike Potter. I just think that he's not ready for Tottenham Hotspur yet. He doesn't have the resume yet. Right? Whereas you have someone like Nuno, who was, Valencia, Puerto, Wolves, his European, all the way up to the Champions League experience, right? So for me, yeah, he may be underwhelming as far as the Tottenham DNA. But he's far more qualified than he says my mental state is a lost cause, but I'm telling you, it is. I think it's starting to affect me physically, Mr. K. Physically. I've been sleeping way more than I should.
Can you pinpoint at which stage you went over? What did Levy do? What was a set of circumstances for the fan base to do that sent you over the edge? Because we can all see it's happened.
The thing that sent me over the edge for Daniel Levy had to have been the ESL and the sacking of Jose Mourinho a week before the final.
I mean, David Connett says that Super Six. He goes Super Six, super confused. Matt Hancock is available. So that's what we've become. We've become a joke club now. It's like the jokes and the pity seem to be thrown at us. Is that something which is hurting us in our pride? Is it affecting us now? Because we used to have a certain resilience of people chucking stuff at us, but now it's pity. That's the one thing, we don't really get. Ridicule we've had. Yeah, Spursy, yeah? Pity, no.
We have the man who is no longer the floating head.
Oh.
Jinty, you've actually got your camera space white today. No, put it back.
You ruined it. You ruined it, mate.
No,
Jinty,
you had your
back,
camera right. There you go.
Please, that's much better. There's that handsome of a man. There you go. You fill up your seat.
What are we talking about?
It's rants.
It's the shambles of Tottenham Hotspur, mate.
Anything you've got to rant about, this is the time. This is the moment. But a Glaswegian having a rant. Trust me, I don't think the world's ready for that on YouTube.
Mr. DP says he heard Mason learn to read chapter books. Look, I'm telling you, the vanity of that guy, dude. The utter vanity of that guy.
What he's actually doing with that book, mate, is he's hiding the actual book because it's the fucking Hungry Caterpillar he's reading between that fucking book, mate. That's the fucking ineptitude.
I'm gonna go. My son has Soccer for Dummies. I'm gonna go get that book, lay down on the couch, and have him take a picture of me, and be like getting ready for the preseason, and then tweet it out. I'm gonna.
Matt as well.
I'm gonna do it tonight.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
do it in that jersey, and like
I'll put on I have the bottoms to it as well. I'll put it on the bottoms.
Yeah,
and I'll lay on there.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'll get some RM and I'll have it, press it onto the shirt.
Mm-hmm. Oh
No,
man.
I think Mr. DP over here must be a similar age to me, because he's cracked out a joke which
What the fuck to what? What the
which
fuck
I
are you
would
saying?
laugh at.
I guess it's because you're
And that's,
still awake. I
any of you
guess.
guys, any of you guys have watched the A-Team? Back in
No,
the
I'm
A-Team?
not 100 years old. There you go.
Yes,
Okay,
I watched
well,
18
I
all
am.
the time.
I am that old.
Bum, bum, bum.
And there's a character in there called Mr. T.
Yeah.
And his catchphrase is, "I pity the fool." And Mr. DP's made the point. I pity the Spurs.
Pretty Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I pity the Spurs. It's a very old joke.
It's not
We
that
had
old.
memes back in the day as well.
Not that old.
It feels like a lifetime ago. Seriously.
I used to watch it all the time. There's that, Knight Rider. What other cool shows
Yeah.
were there?
Fans will take 3-4-3.
Spandan Samaran here. He says fans will take a 3-4-3 Conte, but not Nuno. Will make excuses if Potter had a better attack, but wouldn't extend the same if Josie had screener irony. It is irony, Spandan Samaran. I don't understand it. They say Potter is some kind of attacking genius, although his statistics are almost identical to Santos.
Right.
And
I'm in two camps, two minds on this, right? Because the best manager that we could get right now is different to what I kind of want. I am starting to get on the bandwagon of Ryan Mason in, because he will be so fucking shit that
they won't go.
but
They're wrong.
Do you think he won't be
you're
shit?
wrong. No, he will be shit. That is for certain.
But do you not think that
Thank you for the
Levy will...
$5, Panda.
Yeah, sorry.
But he it won't change the way that people think about him. Did you heard me read
No,
that
but you know
comment
what
out
I'm saying?
today,
The
right?
casuals will then start to say Enoch out.
It won't.
Do you not think, man?
Did you
I suppose.
go back,
I suppose if you look at Arsenal,
end of the season?
it's no harm to them.
But I mean, did you because you came into this crew this summer pretty much, but did you see my tweet at the end of the season about Ryan Mason?
No.
The
What was it?
absolute I put out there that Ryan Mason is at fault
Okay.
for us not making 24 last season. And I didn't say he was the only one at fault, but he was at fault. He had fault in it, right? Because of his substitutions,
He was
team
in charge.
selection.
He was in charge.
Went apeshit on Twitter. Talking 450,000 views, like 605 likes, 239 comments, and those 239 comments were all basically calling me a moron. Speaking of morons.
What a segue. Well, can I say what I think then? Who's actually the best manager, I feel, for this fucking the situation that we're in that's actually gettable is Valverde. He's a yes man. Barcelona hated him people hated him for being a yes man. So he could actually work under Levy. He is the first manager, I think, like out of the 20 years, he developed the most youth players. That was the one thing people liked about Barca as well. He brought back the youth academy system. He brought through 10 players into the first team, right? In that Barcelona side. He's won shit. He's won shit where he's struggled. But Bilbao as a club have that ethos of, only Catalan players. And so he's already limited in that sense. He won them a cup. He won La Liga Manager of the Year. He's moved out of La Liga. People will say, Spanish managers who only stay in Spain are a risk. Before that, he was in Olympiacos doing it there. He came to fucking Barcelona. He didn't play the Barcelona way. That's why they get pissed off. And but he won them back-to-back titles, and they sacked him when he was top of the league and he'd got them through to the final round, and it was the only thing that's ever a smear on his fucking record is the fact that he fluffed those finals in the Champions League. But, I mean, they still won leagues, man. So, honestly, he's the best manager, and he's out of work, so he's gettable. He's like, I really feel like if you want to be, let's get the best manager in that will help, fucking Valverde is it, man. Thoughts?
Yeah, I look, Valverde, I don't know enough about him to not like that suggestion. But why would an ex-Barcelona manager want to come to Spurs in our current situation? That's the thing I have.
Because he's not working. Because he's not working, mate. And he plays Paratici style. He plays Paratici style as well. So Paratici would like him. And he plays attacking football, but he plays it like a three-to-back shit, bonging up. He had Sergio Roberto and Jordi Alba bombing up all the time. He'd have the three-to-back with Longway, Piqué, and Umtiti.
We have breaking news here. Graham Potter has just come out and said he will no longer accept any offers from top 4 clubs in the Premier League. He will only be convinced to make a move if he gets one from Barcelona or Madrid.
Well, we're not a top 4 club, so we're still a shot.
Well, he had already said that he wouldn't. He'd turn it down for months, and he would only accept offers from top 4s. And Alejandro's that's a bit of a troll, but he said Spandan coming back here with another $2 says Barca fans revolted because he was defensive.
Exactly, though, because he wasn't playing the Barca way, but he's that Paratici way is the defensive way, so he would work with Paratici. But he also still got a lot of. If you look at his goal records, he actually outscored Enrique in one season. So Salsaverde can speak.
Can Salsaverde speak English? It doesn't matter. I don't care what language he speaks.
Pochettino didn't speak English.
Half our team speaks Spanish anyway, so what does it matter?
Yeah. Trust, man.
And like this whole thing. Like I had somebody tell me that they didn't like Nuno because they thought he wouldn't be able to handle press conferences. Who gives a fuck about press conferences?
And he's been doing it at Wolves for fucking 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, but who cares?
But but there's not even a basis in that claim. He's talking.
Who cares about press conferences?
No, there is because Ryan Mason did really beautiful interviews. Remember?
You mean kissing Levy's ass without being asked? Yeah, he did great.
Oh, that must be something in the way he did it. Maybe that's what they want from their managers. They want them to be submissive like the players.
No. I just want to hear. All I want to hear in press conferences is team selections and if anybody's hurt. That's it. Boom. You know what I mean?
The only other thing, the only other team news I'd say is that when a manager has to answer for like a bad run of games, that's the only time I'd actually look at a press conference to say what the fuck have you got to say about what's happening. But that's
I don't want to hear about whose panties are pink or who smacked whose ass in the dressing room. I don't want to hear about any of that stuff. I could care less. Right? I want results on the pitch, and that's it. I want to know who's hurt, so I can that if one of those guys is on my fantasy team, I can take him out. Right? That's all I want to know. Speaking of which, we're going to do a fantasy league here on the channel, for the channel. So if you do play fantasy football, I'll also maybe even be doing like a deadline stream or some fantasy football deadline stream, for people who are interested in that or haven't. I enjoy it. And so I watch a lot of fantasy football streams, but maybe from a Spurs side, and seeing that most of the streams I watch tend to bash our club pretty hard. So.
Well, were we any good in the fantasy football last season?
Kane and Son were the top 3.
We were beginning of the season. I was like getting massive bonus points out of those two being on my team. Kane was captain and Son was there, and if Kane
Sergio Reguilon made it into a lot of people's teams in the first half of the season.
Cody
made it in the defense for a lot of people. Martinez made it into goal for a lot of people. So from fantasy league, you kind of get a grip on like what players are performing.
I'm going to tell you, this is like what. Yeah, I'll tell you how it works. Right, I'm going to tell you why someone who plays fantasy football has I think a deeper view into what's going on with players and teams across the Premier League than your average fan. I actually mentioned this a little bit about fantasy, about fantasy football on We Are Tottenham TV. I think yesterday morning, and there were some people who made fun of me in the comments. I'm going to tell you why you're an idiot. Okay, listen close. When you play fantasy football, you have to watch more than just your own club, right? You're forced to watch because you can only pick 3 players at a time. You're forced to watch everyone who's on your squad, right? Because you need to see how they're performing in order to make sure what transfers you're going to make for the week season. You have to be face deep in stats, right? Because you got to know, because you're predicting. When you're picking those players, you're predicting what they're going to do in the future, right? So it's almost like you're a gambling addict. But you have to be in the know all the time, right? You just have to. You have to watch more than one team.
Yeah.
Right? Now, why didn't I watch Brighton a lot last last year. I didn't have any other players in my squad. There's no reason to.
But you had Wolves players, I'm guessing.
Not this season, no.
Oh, because I remember you saying
all this season.
I remember you mentioned that they were great for
season before. Season 4, 1920 and 1819, they were great for fantasy football. Matt Doherty was in my squad I was excited. I actually had him in my squad at the beginning of the year. He went out pretty quick though. He never came back in. Because I mean the attacking returns and the number of clean sheets that Wolves were getting week in and week out. Amon, what was my rank last season? I don't know. Let me see. We got Mr. Stell here in the back.
I started off in the first 1,000. I started off in the first 1,000 by total random chance. My first time I ever played it. And
I
one of the
finished,
guys,
I think 230,000 globally, something like that. Let's double check.
But one of the things you said there earlier was that one of the things you got to do is when you're playing fantasy league is watching other teams and watching other players is knowing why a player performed really well one week, understanding what run he's going to come across for the next 2 weeks, for the next 2 matches he's going to play. You're going to look at that type of opposition they play against and whether or not his abilities are going to be able to overcome the opposition, and therefore he's worthwhile being in your fantasy team for those 2 weeks because you can transfer them out afterwards. So this gives you a slightly better understanding as to player performances, why they can be good or bad given any particular week. I think Stelios over here probably understands that quite a bit. Stelios, how are you?
Obrigado. Nuno Espírito Stelio in the house.
It's been reset. So, folks, it's been reset. So I can't see what my rank was last season, but it was around, I want to say 235,000-ish. Unless I had I don't remember what I got in the last week because I lost interest because Spurs were doing so bad. I was so angry that I just even kind of lost interest in the last 2 weeks. I still made my transfers and stuff like that, but I didn't even look at points.
Still, what are you eating, mate? Make it a mukbang. Yeah, that's how we get the views, Turn on your mic.
Oh, sorry, can you hear it?
Yeah, you can hear you.
I think I was very lucky. I started off really well. I started off like being in the top 1,000, and then I floated around 14,000, and then I started to lose interest. Went to 48,000, then 148,000. Then I stopped caring after that. Well, I was enjoying it when I was in there, but it was just watching Spurs fall apart that made me stop watching it and playing it.
Right.
Yo.
Oh. Why are you not in bed?
Because I'm not.
Got a movie to shoot, mate.
I thought it was a bit unfair that you guys are getting the attention and I'm getting fuck all, so I thought I'd come on.
Ah,
jeez, Bob, you narcissist.
The midnight crawler.
Midnight feast going on with Stell. What are you eating?
Chicken rice and sweet corn.
Beautiful.
They've reset this app, so now I'm like having to log in and all do my other crap now. It's annoying.
These are the best apples, right? They're called Pink
Ladies.
Pink Ladies.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say it.
Pink Ladies are the best, but they got to be cold. They got to be cold, Stell. They got to be cold.
Pink Ladies.
Pink Ladies are the best, mate.
What apples do you have?
That's actually that's like a brand though. So like, how do they make sure that that's consistent, mate? Their apples are always consistent.
Genetic engineering.
Probably. So you're telling me like the old bananas, one disease, they're fucked.
Well, you got the Bramleys, ain't you? You got the Bramleys, and then you've got the other ones. I suppose it's just a version. Yeah.
But it's actually like a brand. It's not like a name. It's a brand. You know what I mean? It's like a trademark.
No, they actually call something else.
I'll tell you what.
We call them Pink Ladies though.
No, that's not like the actual trademark. Yeah.
I go to Sainsbury's because that's the biggest superstore near to me, Sainsbury's. But last month, I was walking through the local town centre. And I was just hungry. I wanted to just grab a sandwich, and I went into Waitrose. The Pink Ladies in Waitrose are off the charts. If you ever get a chance to experience a Waitrose
Still
Pink
looking
Lady,
for sponsors again.
Waitress, of course, it has to be.
Waitrose, I know what's going to say, mate.
Lady.
Yeah, hummus isn't too bad.
But if the apples is too high on the shelf, still you have to reach, and sometimes you hurt your back. What do you do when you get a really bad back?
I know. I get a CVS sponsored back patch. Only found in. Look at Will Stewart. Just look at him. He's thinking, "Why the fuck did I?"
All right, now
surprised
I'm
nobody
trying
mentioned
to.
Rose.
I'll turn it by Spurs. So that, how would you describe that Waitrose apple? Would you say that's like a Man City? Where would you say Spurs are?
Nice,
Are they like a little apple that's been found at the back behind the refrigerators?
I wouldn't
Nah,
even give it
No, they're like budgeons on the side street, mate.
Yeah, it's no Spurs are Mr. Patel's out of date section.
Mr. Patel's waste bin special.
That's it. Yeah, Mr. Patel's waste bin. He's held on to these apples that are 6 months out of date, but finally let go.
Nah,
That's who we are.
This is Real Madrid. This is Real Madrid.
So,
Bernabeu
Takahiro
apples.
Tamiyasu. No, don't know anything about him.
Never heard of him.
Plays
Oh,
in like
do a
Serie A or something
Danny
like that.
Rose,
Japanese?
mate.
I don't know.
Do a Danny Rose. Have to Google him. He is a Serie A player.
I mean, if he's playing in Italy and he's Japanese, he's probably decent. But
plays for Bologna.
yeah, where's that? Spain?
No,
Or
it's
Italy.
Italy.
That Koundé, he's a good player. Very good.
Yeah, we're never going to get him. That's the
He's
problem.
Small
mate.
though.
45 million.
70. No, 70. Not 45.
He's five,
I'm sure that's
no chance.
up front.
5'10", 5'11" ish.
Oh, by the way, good night,
70 million.
Sonia Sobers.
I thought you were saying 170 his height. Sorry, because you were saying he was
He
small.
has been so good on FIFA for a few years now. We should have got him ages ago.
Yeah, we're never going to.
Good night, Code.
No.
I've read your message, mate. I'll reply in a bit. Yeah, it's pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah. Good night, Sonia Sobers.
What?
I'm guessing
He's just WhatsApped. He's just WhatsApped something. Cody has.
No, I'm saying good night, Sonia Sobers.
Was he WhatsApped? Is it a joke or is it serious?
No, he's just crying about having no internet. Poor me. Pay your fucking bill, mate. You know, it might work.
Here's an idea. Move.
Yeah.
I swear. Watch a year or two from now, everyone's going to be on the Elon Musk side.
Oh, man, smell.
Have you guys ever been to Singapore?
No.
No.
Never left.
I heard
not
Levy goes there
Singapore.
often. I heard Levy goes there once a year.
Their
I've been to
internet,
Singapore.
Regular.
their internet is so quick. It's like crazy.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And
Not as
funny
quick as
thing is,
Korea's.
I was just about to say, if you speak to the Singaporean locals, they complain that theirs isn't as quick as Korea. And I'm like, you need to come to England. Our shit is like 1980s.
Isn't the Olympic Village though? Isn't that like got insane internet because it got built with that infrastructure during the 2012 Olympics? I heard it's like 1 gig internet around the Olympic Village. You know, because they turned out any houses around it. They have insane internet there.
Well, I mean, they've had insane internet there for a while. I moved out of there in end of 2014.
Oh no, I'm saying in
December
London.
2014.
Sorry, the London 2012
London.
Olympics. Like they actually have. I've heard that they're because obviously you know they built that Olympic Village. They gave it insane internet because of the section. So those houses around there actually have 1 gig connection.
You know, we have this thing in Britain where we talk about the weather, and it becomes small talk rather than talking about the subject matter at hand.
Internet in the
Everyone
US
talking
is horrible
about
too.
the
What are you talking
Internet
about,
and-
man?
Internet in
I've
the
heard
US
that's
is horrible
crazy.
depending on where you live. Right. So
yeah.
if you live in a big city, the internet's usually pretty good. So if you live within 30 minutes of a big city, the internet's normally good. Outside of that, it's garbage. Like, let's put it this way. I lived in a town. It was the biggest city in the United States that didn't have an interstate, so expressway. And I couldn't get any faster than 2 meg. I had to pay $70 for 2
To get
megabytes.
2 meg.
Wicked.
And so my cell phone was faster. And so what I did is I went and got one of those LTE hotspots
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it had 5 megabytes and it
Boosters.
was $10 a month. So I have this little box, and that I had to use that for almost 2 years.
It's nuts, isn't it? But that's because of that whole problem with like monopoly with the wiring in it. Like they
There's
just
150,000 people in the town, and it was just
no, but it's like the person who owns the cabling. They're the only game in town, so they can just give you the shittest quality the service. You can't go anywhere
one
else.
company. That was it. One company, one internet company in the whole town. Other than
That's the
cell phone
problem.
companies, yeah.
Because that's why it's different here, because we had BT and then BT that had to get split. They would get BT OpenReach. So BT OpenReach or like maintain the lines, but like any company can go through and just rent the use of the thing. So you can just have a million companies offering you decent speeds.
Now I have 500 megabytes, and it cost me $49.99.
It's crazy.
22 megabyte upload.
That's like fucking 4 times faster than mine, mate. That's nuts. And
I've got got 3 boys over the age of 10, and they all are streaming on their own little things. Wife is streaming. I'm streaming like this all at the same time right now, man.
That's nuts.
By the way, I had my first that stream earlier. Will was in 1080, mate. First time.
Oh, because you're the
there. You go. You're on your laptop instead of your phone.
Yeah, on my laptop, my mic, slowly getting there.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Join me in 5 minutes as I slurp my banana milkshake. Sounds like fun.
Who's that?
No, Bob, your channel's starting to get on quite nicely. I like it. I like the videos that you're
garbage.
putting in. It's really nice.
I just do what I do, Mr. K, and nothing
for
too
doing
much. It's all
I
all
fluffed
good.
this up. I fluffed this up. For next week, because you know me and I'm anal, but you see how it actually fills the whole frame now? There's not black bars around the sides. Little subscribe button there. I can unmute you while we talk here. Looks a little smoother.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Will Stewart on his show.
Loving this intro. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Bob made it, and it's good.
Oh, I'm having an epileptic seizure.
Nicely done.
Why is Jack still in this?
I know. I will have to
Bob hasn't
update
sent me a
that.
new one yet.
Guys,
We'll have
how
to,
good are these, man?
why.
How are these?
I've never tried them before.
Fuck, what time is it? What time is it in your house, Stel?
The mini,
The same time as you, mate.
Mini croissants with chocolate.
Same time.
Mini chocolate
That's
croissants.
nice.
Oh, my days is 3:30. He's having a midnight
What's
munch.
what I'm
He's in his
asking.
office.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
What the
so
fuck?
well. Put yourself on mute when you're eating.
It's the
You still at
weed.
the
It's
club?
the weed giving you munchies.
Or is that your home
I feel
office?
like going there.
Like you're
get
asking all these
high.
questions.
Time to get high.
Yeah, 9 at night. I think it requires a few updates, but obviously we'll speak about that and get that sorted.
Is in the private chat? Is he fucking with me? Is there like a breathing thing? Can you hear me breathe?
No.
There's
You said
breathing. No,
there was.
just telling you had man breath.
Yeah, there was.
You said
Oh,
man
right.
smell breath.
I thought he was saying move the mic away because my breathing was coming through. Makes up.
No.
It was earlier, mate. It was earlier.
It
You're
was.
right now.
It was.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I generally
It's
tend
like
to put
almost
the microphone on
impossible.
mute before I
I
talk.
couldn't hear it. I couldn't.
I could.
I couldn't hear it either. If I couldn't hear it, it'd be hard to help. It might have been me because I was
It
like
was
had
very
my lips
nasal.
on it.
It's quite nasal as well.
I
So-
think we should do a show.
Oh, sorry, Ash. Do you want me to go like this? I was sitting here like that, like a big open mouth breather. I just should
You
stop
only,
looking
you
like.
only do that when you call me, Genty.
All right. Okay.
There you go. A bit of crunch.
Crinkly
there as well.
bag,
Thank you.
man. So many ugly faces. Cody's because he can't get on the internet more than chatting. He's just kind of ripping us to shreds there.
It's been left out, ain't he, bless him.
Crinkly
I
bag.
think we should do
Or
a show
code.
once a month, right? Called The Last Supper. With the last Hotspur supper. And what we do is we all come on a show at the end of the month, and we've all got to eat whilst we talk about. We all bring our own dishes. So I'll bring my chicken and rice and whatever. Will Stewart have his hot dogs and his hamburgers. Ginty will have like a haggis. Mr.
I knew you'd
Kane.
go for haggis. I knew you'd go for haggis.
I've been so stereotypical.
I know.
What about
I'll bring
Do
a
I,
kebab.
do I
I'll
have
bring
to
a
bring
kebab.
like a cheeseburger or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll bring a kebab.
Yeah.
You bring a cheeseburger.
I'll bring
Mr.
my
K.
samosas.
What, Mr. K, where are you from? What do you have? Cockroaches?
Curry, Bob.
or
You can bring curry.
Curry.
Curry and rice.
Bugs,
Curry and rice, very,
cockroaches?
very nice. Thank you very much. You know,
Who came out with the idea of getting drunk while doing a stream? Who was that?
I think my stream was the first stream where people were drinking on. I think this stream right here, this late night stream, was the first one people were drinking on.
I think we need to do that. We'll just get hammered.
Well, it was meant to be a funny reply to a tweet, or to a suggestion. I didn't think you'd take it seriously, but
I think that's a good idea.
Like you see, I don't drink. I only drink on the weekends, and I don't drink before 8 o'clock. So,
Perfect.
yeah. So that's why on this stream, it's kind of like my drinking time. So if I'm going to do a stream, I have to continue my drinking time.
Yeah.
Cody wants to know if he should have one more beer. Yes, you should, Cody.
Are we going to do the show then? The last Hotspur supper.
but while getting drunk.
I don't know. Here's what I'll do. I'll jump on if I can.
Well, you can't just jump on like that. You got to be prepared. You got to come with food, Will. You can't just jump on.
It depends.
When we bring a
depends what-
cheeseburger, I just go to the
depends what
drive-thru
time.
McDonald's. It takes me like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
All right.
Depends
So,
what time.
so you're going to go pick up a McDonald's and jump on the stream. So Bob, you're going to do samosas. You said.
Well, it depends what time, because I can't eat after a certain time because of medication. So
Oh, okay. What
Oh, I
time?
forgot Alex is back.
There goes the idea,
Alex,
doesn't
I'm
it?
so sorry.
sorry about that.
Why didn't you say
Can
something
you-
in the
can you
private
drink as
chat,
well, though?
Alex? You've been on there since I
Hello,
played that
Alex.
9 at 9 video.
Hey, it's all good. All good, all good, all good. Don't worry.
Who's this?
Say, I'm still here, Will. That's what you're supposed to say. In private chat.
We could do it breakfast then. We could do the breakfast Hotspur.
Yeah, brew breakfast Hotspur. Yeah. Who's the guest?
Oh, Jesus.
I'll
What
still-
about
I will
the
still
supper
have a.
thing's quite nice, you know.
Yeah, I can have a kebab for breakfast. It's okay. I can do it.
Yeah.
I'll have a kebab for breakfast.
You're no longer 20 anymore, mate. That's gonna fuck you.
Are samosas Indian?
I don't know what they are.
Yeah. Samosas
I
Indian.
thought
Yeah.
they're Punjabi based. I thought they're
Oh
Punjabi
no,
based.
samosa is actually a form of pastry. So you can have samosas, you can have a strawberry samosa, you can have a chocolate samosa. Samosa is just the triangular shaped pastry.
You've got different
you
parts
get,
of India. You get different types of samosas.
Chinese, you get samosas within Chinese, but yes, it's mainly associated with Indian food. But to you guys, it's samosa. To us, it's samosa. So it's
It's a bit like the Scottish version of deep frying a Mars bar. It's like
Yeah.
you've probably had the Indians that probably had a wrap, and then they.
I'll have you know, right? The most popular
Samosa are
Indian.
funny.
Wait. No, it's got. They just eat sheep testicles.
Right, yeah. Anyway, the tikka masala, mate. That's Glaswegian.
yep.
So-
It's a British dish.
Good
Yeah,
old
British
days.
dish. Chicken
No,
tikka masala.
I've never been to Scotland. I've never had Scottish food. I've never been to England. I've never had.
Do you know
English
why?
food.
Do you know how? Do you know? It's actually kind of funny. It's kind of Glaswegianish. Why the tikka masala came round? Some old drunk man thought he came into a fish and chip shop apparently, and he came up and he's like, "Oh right, okay, I'll have an Indian." Do you know what, man? Can you give me a jalfrezi but put some gravy in it? And he went, "I'm not doing that." What? So then he put.
Don't you eat sheep testicles though?
So
Isn't
then he
that a
put
thing?
cream. He put cream and heavy like yogurt into a jalfrezi, and that became the tikka masala.
Don't you guys eat sheep testicles though? Isn't that a thing?
What? Sheep testicles? No, mate. You're thinking of haggis, which is sheep stomach. It's the lining and it's sheep. It's just
Lining,
awful.
yeah.
It's the intestines, mate, not the testicles. In America, I think isn't that called a Rocky Mountain oyster?
That's bull's testicles.
No,
Yeah, but
that's
it's testicles.
bull's testicles.
I know, but it's still testicles, though. You're the ones that you're saying to me, "Do we eat testicle?" And you're the one that's doing it. No?
Ginty, in America.
We don't have that in Texas, thank God.
It's a northeastern thing. It's not.
It's a northeastern thing. I
But we
think.
don't have that at all. When you're complaining, you're saying to
Northwestern
me,
thing, sorry.
and you're coming
So-
at me with that.
Just
Bull's
sounds
testicles.
like
Yeah, Rocky Mountain
in
oysters.
in
something like that.
America, in America, the sheep's testicles is a hamburger.
We have intestines for breakfast tacos.
All right.
Sounds like a load of bollocks to me.
In Korea, I've had a lot of intestines. They have pig intestines.
Sounds like a load of Tommy talks balls.
That's what they. That's
I
what
know.
they do.
I said that time was one suggestion. Tommy Dog's bullshit. It's a bullshit.
Touch your balls.
That one got
And then,
that one got memed hard. I think Tommy Vision sounds good. I think it probably if it changes to Tommy Vision, it'd be quite good.
Nah, Tommy touches balls. Sounds better.
Tommy's
That's
testicles.
going to take a while to get rid of.
Tommy tickles testicles.
So black pudding is kind of like a blood pudding, right? They
Blood,
in Korea,
blood sausage.
yeah, blood sausage. In Korea, they have a blood sausage. It's actually pretty good though.
Yeah. We have a. Do you know how you have those
The
like
name right now? in My mind.
those protected zone ones? You know how you've got like Parma ham and Parmesan cheese have to come from Parma. They've got that up here for a type of black pudding called Stornoway black pudding. It's fucking amazing. If you hate black pudding, try Stornoway black pudding because it's 10 times better. The spices they put in it just make it so much better.
Do you
The
know?
Korean one is really good.
But we don't eat blood food.
No,
Emmett, help me out here.
No, we don't eat
listen
blood.
out.
I know.
What's the
But I'm
Korean
just saying,
blood sausage? Why am I drawing the blank?
It's probably really nice, but we just have a thing about it. That's all. Hey, it's just diet, I suppose. Everyone's got one.
I'm fine having a bloody.
And they do
steak,
eat dog in Korea. Yep, called boshintong. It's in the soup. Different kind of dog though. It's not like puppies on the street or anything like that. It's actually like they breed them like cattle. It's a specific kind of dog.
So, like, when you have
Okay,
puppies
now
in
the
soup, is that like
conversation
a slush puppy? It's like a slush
Huh? Hush puppy, no.
slush puppy in Korea is completely different to what we get in Singapore.
No.
I've not had
Sonjiguk.
show for a while.
I just wanted a nice cold drink. I didn't actually want a dog in a soup bowl.
순대국 아니에요? 순대국? 순대가
It's,
피가 들어가는 소시지 아닌가요?
All right.
I think it's called sundeguk. The chemist, he was asked. I asked him what. Yes, thank you, Jen.
Does that come with chips?
Sundae. No, it's called sundae. It's like blood sausage. It's this really dark sausage that they use coagulated pig's blood inside of the. So it's like very dark.
Right.
And actually really good. But they have these noodles that go inside of it and all kinds. It's very spicy. It's really good. Really good.
Only country in the world you can ask a waitress for a doggy style and that she won't take offence.
피스 녹이는 거예요. 손지가 잘 모르겠네요.
She'll say to you, what kind of doggy style do you want?
Yeah. Can I have my chicken, please? How would you like it? Doggy style.
But yes, I like sundae. It's very good. And then they
Come on, Bob.
양꼬치, sheep intestines they have, but it's fried. It's like grilled. It's barbecued sheep intestines. It's really good. Never had intestines?
Dude, I was trying to bring it back to a bit of Spurs. I was reading some news there, and apparently, Nuno says that if he gets the job, he wants to bring in Connor Cody, mate, to Tottenham.
That's three at the back then.
I just cry at the idea of
Listen,
Connor
Cody's a
Cody.
good player, man.
He's not.
Cody's a good player.
He's
I
not.
don't know.
Not a back
Better than what we got.
Not a back
You guys
four.
are trying to move it back to Spurs because Cody's in there griping. Don't listen to Cody. He doesn't.
No, I'm not. I'm not even looking at the chat, mate. So I don't know what he's talking about.
I like
Cody's
we get
just jealous.
chats all the
Cody.
time on this stream. This stream here is free for all, man. It goes all over the place sometimes.
You know the lining, the inner lining of the intestine. It's like you can pull it. It's like a long kind of see-through elastic.
Yeah, the thing they make the sausage skin out of.
Yeah, so in Cyprus we do this thing where we spit roast meat. So you skewer big chunks of like
And then you
pork
could
or
cut.
lamb onto a big thick skewer like that thick, and we spin it for about an hour. There's one version where you wrap the meat in the intestine, and then as the meat cooks, it tightens onto it, and it almost forms like a seal. It's such a nice tasting dish.
Oh,
Just
wow.
for it out.
You went-
Yep. In Korean, they eat worms,
Oh,
crickets, grasshoppers.
Ah.
not like normally.
an
Like
echo
a side
here.
dish.
There is an echo here.
Thailand.
Somebody's got a bad echo. I think it's you, Alex. When I talk, I can see your circle bounce. I'll fix that there. Says over 5-year deal starting today. I take
So who
Cody over
actually
Cody
thinks-
every day. You just like him because he's Cody.
No, listen, Cody was in my fantasy league, and trust me, he made me lots of points. He's a solid centre back.
He's so slow, man.
Yeah, well, it's not like
I don't know.
okay, fair enough.
Not in a back three,
No,
though. I think he
I
works
find
better in a
most-
back three.
Fine.
Or would he play that way?
It would do, exactly. I mean, you want someone who's got experience, got maturity. It doesn't just ball watch; he actually goes to it, and that he does all of that. He ticks all the boxes for me. He's good in the air. He's good defensively. Good communication with the goalkeeper and the rest of the defense, and we need that right now. Crikey, we need a lot of stuff.
Yeah, point.
I find most Cody's are a letdown.
It is Ginty that we can hear breathing. Bob.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, you bastard.
Broken his
We'll,
shit.
we'll throw you on automatic, and then you should be fine.
I don't know why he's picking it up all of a sudden, man.
Yeah. It's just
Just never done it before.
Sometimes when you throw it on automatic, what it does is it takes off the echo. Like it'll leave the echo on, but it'll remove the noise removal. And so when you like Eugene has the same problem with his fan. Like when he because there are times when his volume was kind of low, he would artificially pump him up, and then when you do that, sometimes it'll remove the noise removal part of it, and you can do it. But
Right.
but it sounds fine now.
But would Cody take Cody? Oh yeah, he said I'll take Cody over centre backs, maybe Road. But would you take Cody in a back four or would he have to play in back three? Because he's not really been at his best in that back four, which Nuno played last season. The back three, Nuno made him into one of the best. As a Liverpool reject, so I'd have Cody, but he'd have to play in a back three, and back three being Roden and another, be it Tanganga
Yeah, but
or
realistically,
Toby.
realistically, if you want to go forward, everyone has to start switching over anyway. The back three system right here has been coming in for the last 2-3 years, slowly, and now it's all the rage. Watch, everyone's doing it. It's now the 4-3-3 that everyone used to do before. The 4-2-3-1. You know, it's moving between those two, and I think the 3-4-3 is now the natural progression of where football is today. Either got 3-4-3 or you got two up front.
And do we get to see the best of Doherty as well? Because his figures,
It would solve
his
that.
facts and figures were second.
Well, that's
to
why if you
Trent.
look at what managers were going for, it's going to be bringing Paratici in. Right, is signaling in that direction, saying, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to move our wingers up a bit because if we bring Sasson back right, he can fit in a 4-3-4-3.
I don't think he's coming back.
3-4-3.
He's coming back.
No, but if he did, right, he'd be in that left-hand position with three defenders behind him. Because if he's a bit sus with the defensive, it's okay. So long as he tracks back and is able to at least shadow the person back, that's all that really matters. It's about numbers and closing down options through lanes.
Do you know who's a good 3-4-3
Well,
manager?
most of them. Look at Potter. What do you think?
Ryan
What do you think
Mason.
we're going for Potter for?
No, there's genuinely a good manager out there who plays 3-4-3, but that's all he can do because other than that, he's a disaster, and that's Martinez.
Martinez,
Martinez is a good 3-4-3 manager.
yeah.
Yeah, but he was doing that way back in the day.
I got to correct this because otherwise it's going to cause fights in the chat. Takehiro Tamiyasu is a Japanese name, not Korean. That's like confusing Jewish people with German people.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
Right? No, yeah. So just wanted to clear that up before people start fighting.
I don't like that comment to begin. We can't have two Korean guys. What's that about? in the first place anyway. Not even the fact that they've missed nationality, and what's the point? What's the problem with having 2 Korean guys in the first place?
Yeah, nothing.
Exactly.
I just think of all the merchandise coming in if we had 2 Korean players. Fucking awesome.
The Japanese would probably be more. They have 150. There's like 152 million, I think, who live in Japan versus 50 million that live in Korea.
Yeah, everything's so up in the air still. You know, so close to the season, and everything. There's no definitive.
Yeah, but
anything.
Bob, is this any different from any other way that Levy plays the transfer or any type of system that he's done in the past?
He's
totally
always different
squeezed it to the last minute.
Yeah,
Always.
not this bad. It's never been this bad when it's been, you know, coaches, managers, players. It's never been. Yeah, we'll fully. Yeah, of course, leaveislastminute.com. But when it comes to the whole structure from top to bottom, before the start of before what? 2 weeks before pre-season.
Shambles. Absolute shambles.
Honestly, mate, it's just, it is unbelievable. If someone said to you after Jose got sacked, that by the way, 2 weeks before pre-season starts again, at the end, you won't have a manager, you won't have any form of coaching, first-team coaches in place. You'll have exactly the same players as he'd finished on. You would have thought, that's even Levy's imagination. That's stretching it, but that's what it is. And like I said, before the transfer window shuts, we could be in a position where we've got the same players, we've got no director of football because I believe Paramatucci will go, and we've got Ryan Mason in charge, and that's a real realism we might have to accept. And I know, Will, you hate it, mate. And I know you absolutely dread at the thought of Ryan Mason coming in, but in heart in hearts, mate, you know it's a possibility.
I can't believe he's deleting. He's deleting.
It's Apple. It's good for you. Apple's good for you.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Are you
Apple's
eating it like a mob boss with a knife and cutting up little pieces?
Yeah.
I get I slice it.
Wow, yeah, he is actually. You know, like that scene when they cut it, you know, and they go, oh, well, they grab it with a knife.
This is how the middle class eat.
Is that right? All right. So you go to Waitrose and then you buy and you use a knife. To
be honest with you, I just like cutting things into baby-sized pieces.
For your little baby mouth, not like my big
cut
mouth.
Fruit, they cut apples quite a bit in Asia too. Here in the US, we tend to just.
Yeah, me too, but I don't want to make the show too loud.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I don't like this. I don't like the skin of the apples. But my 2-year-old daughter loves
He's
it.
complaining about it, but I don't care.
Yeah, I don't like the skin off the apples because I don't. But so I feed them to my 2-year-old daughter. She loves them. I think she's used to them now. Okay, there you go, have these. She loves apple skin.
Listen,
the skin's
Cody,
actually the best part for you.
Yeah, I know.
Get that Cody mac and cheese McFlurry.
Cody mac and cheese.
I'm from the Mediterranean. All we do is eat.
That's it.
It's all we do. We're not very
Can
good
you
at anything
show
else.
tweets, mate?
Huh?
Can you show tweets and go to the side of put us to the side?
Share it. Share the screen. Yeah.
Video, though, a video in a tweet. I'm saying.
You want me to share it?
Here.
Because it's I'm just trying to find positive Spurs stuff, and people are talking about this tweet that Ndombele just skins a player and shoots from 30 yards out and scores. And why? Just like hopefully
Was
he
this
can do
on
that
Sunday
next
League
season.
or something?
Yeah. Well, he's been practicing waiting.
Look at that. Perfection there. You know how to treat a pink lady, mate.
I like to treat my pink ladies doggy style.
Oh God!
Didn't that used to be like a drink as well? Pink lady.
Pink lady. Yeah. Pink
Pretty
lady.
sad.
Now, you think a pink lemonade, don't you?
Big up to Aaron Duber, who knows what a Savlaki is.
Dove.
Dove.
Yes, big up, parent.
Dove or Dove, mate. Dove. I think it's Dove because he's Gaelic. He's Gaelic.
Is it Dove?
He's Irish.
Dove. Yeah.
Irish. Well,
BH is a V.
He knows what a souvlaki is, so good on him.
It's a dabha.
No, you don't. You just the BHSV.
A dabha.
No, you don't add the ha. You don't add. It's just dumb.
It's like a martial arts move.
Dabha.
Oh, this is the Ndombele, isn't it? Where he scores top bins.
Oh yeah, seen this one. Yeah.
Do you know what? If,
Yeah, but I
if
mean, look at the fat boys he's playing with, though.
Yeah.
He's home.
Ndombele's not exactly thin, is he? Yeah.
He's home.
Home.
I'm telling you, he gets his mind right. He gets the manager right. He gets his, fitness right. He can be the best midfielder in the world. He's got potential there.
Yep, 100%. He's a baller.
Do you know what,
Just
guys?
needs to
Steak
get
and blue
right.
cheese. Why would you put blue cheese on steak?
Oh yeah,
You can put
beautiful.
You can put blue cheese in anything. It's lovely.
Nah.
Peppercorn sauce on steak. Peppercorn sauce.
I don't know blue cheese. I don't need moldy cheese.
But it's not the
Blue
same.
cheese is molded cheese. That's what it is.
But on steak, it's on steak. The blue cheese is in a sauce. It's not actually because I have blue cheese and bacon.
Blue cheese dressing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Peppercorn sauce is the ultimate with steak though.
Who?
Peppercorn sauce.
What's the popcorn sauce? What's that?
Peppercorn. White
Peppercorn
peppercorn sauce. Yeah. Oh, it's
Peppercorn.
so nice, mate. And you dip the
You
chips
know,
in it.
that putting any
man.
sauce on a steak is like ruining it, right?
Very
All right, purist.
Oh fuck is it?
Because a person who really knows how to cook a steak shouldn't have to put anything on it.
I like a little bit of diet.
You need-
How'd you cook a steak, Will? Luke. Use the force, Luke.
Say that. Do that accent again. I'm sorry.
Who did that?
I've had blue
He's
cheese.
obviously in
Blue
bed.
cheese. He took himself out. I didn't take him out. Or Mr. K, did you take him out? He took himself out.
No. He's back in there himself. Look, he's back up here.
How'd you cook a steak? I know how to cook a perfect steak.
You know how to cook a perfect steak?
You get a magnifying glass.
Gonna have a
Get the
steak
sun.
off now.
Well, you have to
see-
cook it. You have to cook it on a
Griddle.
not on a grill,
Skillet.
but not just any skillet, a cast iron skillet,
Yeah. Griddle.
All
We call it
skillets should be
griddles.
cast iron.
flat bottom, not griddled. Griddled one is a cast iron that has the waves or the ridges on the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah. You're on about
Flat.
straight.
Flat bottom cast iron skillet, old
Okay.
school style, seared up.
I want to hear how you cook a steak.
I take a nice piece of meat
On the Spurs channel.
That's a good start.
and
That's a good idea.
you season the skillet with olive oil and a little bit of pepper. Then you season the skillet, get it all nice and thing, and then you pour the oil pepper mixture out. Throw the steak on there. Sear the top, sear the bottom, and I like to eat my steaks between rare and medium rare. So,
How do you know when the steak's done?
how do I know when the steak's done?
Check your
Some people
hands.
use a thermometer. I don't. I just go by the color.
All right. Put the
He's gonna do
skillet.
the thumb thing. He's gonna do the thumb thing.
Put the
No,
skillet
especially
on the heat, high heat.
Yeah, it's
Don't
hot.
don't put anything in there until it starts smoking. When you see the skillet smoke, oil. Your steak has to be resting for 10 minutes out of the fridge before you put it in. Salt and pepper both sides generously, and then once the skillet's smoking, you put your oil in. Drop the steak in 1 minute either side, and then when you flip it the third time, throw in knobs of butter, garlic,
Yeah.
and thyme.
Rosemary. Oh.
And then the oil will mix with the butter and it'll froth it up. And then tip the skillet and start basting the steak. And you know it's done. So if it feels like that, that's meat, that's rare. If it feels like this part of the arm, the wrist, that's medium rare. If it feels like up here, that means it's medium. So you want it to feel like there. I guarantee you,
I just go gray.
gray.
Yeah.
That's well
when
done.
it turns gray, No,
Alright.
the outside edge
On the
turns
outside,
gray.
yeah.
Yep. I flip it. Flip it again, and then I never flip it again. Right, I only flip it one time. And what I mean by season it is you bring the oil to almost a boil in the pan, right? And then you pour that out. And then when you do that, that oil that's left at that cast iron skillet soaks up, start to leach out on its own. So then you just the juices, and then you basically letting it baste in its own juices.
Let's not forget the rest. You always need to let it rest as well when it comes out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
5 minutes.
room temperature usually almost.
Yeah,
we even do
definitely.
room temperature
Let
for
it
almost a
rest, yeah.
day. So
What's your
you're gonna eat
No,
steak, you pull it
afterwards,
out of the fridge in the morning.
After you've cooked it, I always lay it out and put it on a bit of kitchen towel, let it rest for a bit.
Yeah, I eat mine pretty rare, so it's not that warm in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so.
I
But
like
no,
it
I normally
medium.
you leave if you're gonna eat steak that night, you pull it out in the morning and just let it sit on the counter
Yeah, 100%.
for the whole day. So it's almost like 10 hours. It just sits out there.
Yeah, nothing better than ribeye. Good old big thick chunk of ribeye.
Are you a ribeye man?
Oh, I love a ribeye.
Guys,
mate.
just imagine all those poor people out there that don't eat meat is listen to this conversation about
Or vegans?
charring.
Yeah, how would you
stuff.
cook your mushroom?
I mean, I myself, I don't eat that much steak, hardly ever. I think you have to leave this country to get a decent steak.
No. There's brilliant
but-
cuts
No,
of meat.
mate. I'll tell you what,
Occasionally,
Lidl-
tend to like new car meat. With
Lidl do
like, spices and
amazing
seasoning.
steaks. Lidl do amazing steaks.
Morrison's have like won Butcher of the Year award and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they have to be kind of halal.
As long as it's
to eat them.
thick. As
But
long as
I'm
it's
not into
thick.
steak anyway.
You like them thick, eh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it has to be.
I don't
thick,
like
mate.
thin. Listen, it doesn't
Good
have to be like
filet
super
mignon.
thick. I love filet mignon.
Yeah, filet mignon's
That's
nice,
my
but
favorite.
there's sometimes it can be a bit bland. You know,
Yeah,
the best
filet
the best
mignon,
part about
bland.
the steak is the best part about the steak has to be the fat, isn't it?
No.
So-
No.
Oh, for me,
I like
mate,
lean
if it's done
steak.
properly.
I like a T-bone. I do like a good T-bone.
T-bone's nice, yeah.
Irish
It's like-
cow. What's Irish
it's like-
cow?
It's like gammon.
It's a cow
Gammon's
from
got to be.
Ireland.
Gammon's got to be nice and thick with a lot of fat on it, so the juice.
Oh, you mean like an Irish beef? I say.
Yeah.
The beef has to be grass-fed and not corn-fed as well. That's another thing. It's got to be grass-fed.
But we
Because
have
corn-fed, they're very-
we don't have corn-fed beef in Britain, mate.
Yeah, I think in the States.
What about the Scottish
'cause-
cows, the big furry guys? Are those pretty good?
Highland cow, or no, there's a type of Highland cow called Aberdeen Angus. I think and there's also one that's trying. It's called
We have
Broad
Aberdeen
beef.
Angus here in the U.S. though. That's not.
But it's not proper Aberdeen Angus, mate.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's what they call it.
I tell you
well,
what.
it's a place in Scotland, Aberdeen.
When I went traveling,
That's where my family's from.
many years
Ah.
ago,
I feel sorry for you.
we had the beef in Japan, like just the standard
Wagyu.
beef.
Wagyu.
The standard beef in Japan is exceptional. Like
That's mad,
so fucking good. And do you know the best way? It's not even steak. They do this thing where they it's not a kebab.
Skillers, skewers.
Yeah, but they call it a name. Is it
It's called
It's
something.
thin, isn't it? It's like strips.
Teriyaki? No, that's the marinade.
No, that's a,
is it rakitori? It's when they do it on the grill.
Yakitori.
Oh.
Yakitori.
Mate, yakitori beef is hands down the best beef I've ever had anywhere in the world. And the marbling in there, I don't know how they do it, but
Well, it's the kind of cow, right?
What-
Like even in here, there's
it's Kobe beef.
Kobe and then Wagyu too. There's two different types in Japan, and then they have in Korea they have what they call Hanu, and that's even more expensive.
Is that from Honolulu?
No, it's from Korea. Han means Korea, right? So Korea is
They might import it
Hanguk
from
in
Honolulu.
Korean.
But import them as babies and raise them.
No, it doesn't come from Honolulu.
Who don't they like for like the expensive?
In the
beef
Korean
that
language, they don't call themselves Korea. That's actually a name that the Japanese gave them. So some people.
what do you guys think of
Actually good.
kangaroo? Have you had kangaroo?
Yeah, it's quite
I've
good.
never had kangaroo.
It's
Very
very.
hop around. Have to eat it.
No, it's very. The taste is very meaty, How do I say? How do I say? You don't have you guys had venison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I had
it's
venison.
You mean it's gamey rather than meaty?
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Gamey.
kangaroo's gamey.
Yaki just
but-
means fried, by the way.
Bob
Not
likes
grilled.
Bob likes gay meat.
I like a doggy style. But kangaroos,
gator?
kangaroo surprised me. Kangaroos surprised. Yeah.
Why would you say?
Yeah, I've heard the crocodile's like a chicken steak. It tastes a lot
It's
like
like chicken.
Can I say everything goes
Had rabbit.
People
I've had
say
rabbit,
everything tastes like
squirrel,
chicken.
Everything
frogs.
tastes like
Do you guys ever eat
chicken.
frog legs?
pigeon tastes like chicken.
Ever
Kangaroo
have
tastes
frog
like
legs?
chicken.
No.
I'm telling you right now, smoked frog legs is probably one of the best things you ever eaten in your
I
life.
had frog's legs in America in a place called Lafayette.
Louisiana, yeah.
Yeah, on the way to where were we going? New Orleans.
Yep, Lafayette, Louisiana.
What
yeah.
a shithole New Orleans is, by the way. Fuck me.
The whole state of Louisiana is pretty much.
Everyone's like, hey, go New Orleans. Yeah, big party.
You have the
Mardi
crawfish?
Gras.
Yeah, you have to go to a certain bit, the French Quarter, isn't it?
They make nice Creole. Creole?
Creole is like a culture. It's like it's
They make
French
nice
and
culture.
Spanish
It's like a
mix.
sauce. It's like a sauce. They
Well,
Cajun
Creole,
spices.
it's French and Spanish in it because the French.
Yeah,
have a lot.
it's Creole is just a type of thing. So it's a culture. They have spices and dips and Creole
nice.
sauces and stuff like
Nice.
that. But I mean, it's
like it.
basically it's a mix between French and Spanish. So it's like real spicy. They have like this special spice that they make and do down there.
Island Life is
Crawfish
saying
is a great-
shark. Shark tastes good. Shark, can you
is-
do it?
had shark.
Shark is good.
I've
I like
tried it. It's
shark.
actually right. Yeah.
It's nice.
I've had
Rabbit.
dog,
No, I haven't
Yeah,
had
we
it.
cook rabbit in my house.
rabbit, squirrel.
We do it in
Squirrel's
like,
greasy, doesn't taste very good.
squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel.
Right,
Why are you,
That's
why are you,
nutty.
no, why are you
Have you
eating
tried,
squirrels?
uh,
Why are you eating
for the year
squirrels? I
now.
like squirrels.
That's it.
Squirrels
Why
are
are you eating
bastards.
squirrels?
What
We
are
eat
you talking
squirrels all the
squirrels?
time. In the United States. When I
Squirrels
was a
are
little kid, that was the
bastards.
first thing I ever hunted. I used to go. Across my room, I had like probably 35, 40 squirrel tails.
Fucking barbarians.
You can't have that much meat on them.
No, they
No.
don't.
Well, not
How
after
much
they
is a
finish
frog?
growing.
Running around, they're going
You
to be
cook
lean,
them whole,
aren't they?
don't you? Cook them all whole, don't you? Just like empty the guts out. And you just
Nah, you shouldn't-
Yeah,
you shouldn't-
pretty much.
no.
It's like a fish or frogs. You eat the legs.
Guys, why are you eating squirrels, man? I don't like. I was okay until we got to squirrels. I don't.
Why
think
do
we
you
should
love
eat
squirrels so much? They're
So the
such
cat
little
and the dog
bastards.
didn't mean anything.
But you're okay with me eating dog, but you're not okay with the squirrel.
I don't eat dog.
Right.
You just like doggy
No,
style.
but I mean, I mentioned it and you didn't say anything. But when I said squirrel, that was the last straw.
So you
Yeah,
drew
no,
the
because
line.
like squirrels,
It's such a shit animal.
they're just
shit.
harmless. They just go around. They collect
No,
nuts. they
they're
eat
not.
their nuts.
Bastards.
Well, not their own nuts. They eat other people's nuts. But
They
eat
do
nuts.
taste a bit
I've
nutty.
never had it in China, but in China they eat monkey's brains. I've never had that though.
They had it in Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom.
Squirrels, man.
Squirrels, yeah, it's not very good. I
You
wouldn't
tried
recommend it.
wild boar. That's quite nice.
Yeah, in Italy, they do it in Italy.
Never had
When I was
pigeon
a
either.
kid
That would be
growing up,
gross.
it was,
Pigeons are dirty.
Asterix the Gaul.
I had horse
Gaul
meat.
in that.
I had horse meat in Bologna in France once, not knowing it was horse
It
meat.
tastes like
I thought it was
glue?
beef. It tastes like manure.
What does manure taste like?
Oh yeah.
No, the smell was like manure, and it was like horse meat. And I was like, this
Deer.
beef tastes a bit shit. So no, it's horse meat. I don't know. I went all Chinese there in France, but yeah, he said it was horse meat. I'm like,
God,
you
that
what,
sounds disgusting, man.
mate? It was horrible. It was
I think
horrible.
Cody actually did it. He timed me out, the prick.
No, I haven't eaten possum, but there are places in the U.S. that do eat possum. He said
Can't stop laughing.
Stell eats loudly for 90 minutes straight without muting his mic. Will hunts squirrel. Stell, you're a monster.
Was I
Cody
eating
won't let it go.
squirrels? Was I eating squirrels for 90
Oh, he
minutes?
was eating an apple.
Hey, Aaron had a raw horse sashimi. Whoa, man!
They
There
do
you
eat raw
go.
beef in
Yeah.
Korea. I've never seen.
Nah,
Pork.
it sounds like
I
you're
said
aren't
it
even native
smelled like
to Japan.
manure, Cody.
I know there's a place in Japan you can eat raw. You can have chicken sushi. They like cook just the finest edges, and they have to have special standards so you don't get salmonella and all that
raw
shit. It's like,
chicken.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They get away with it because they have it in. They have certain
raw pork. There's some
laws.
places they eat raw pork in the wintertime too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Can you imagine
shit.
you have all these vaccinations against COVID, then you go and have some raw chicken and it fucking wipes you out. What's the point? What's the point?
Or you have your second jab and you're celebrating and you cross the road and you get run over.
It's kind of ironic what happened to one of my younger
been
cousins.
Raw fish is good.
Yeah.
Have
And I don't
you
mean
guys
like
seen
sushi. I mean like actual.
That's sushi, yeah.
I love sashimi.
You know how
I
YouTube-
love sashimi.
YouTube does-
I love sushi. So nice.
YouTube does weird shit to you? I went through a phase where I was watching how to kill lobsters
Oh yeah,
prior to cooking. Just chuck them in boiling water and stuff, and some would actually scream.
it's the air
Weird,
escaping.
man.
If you get the knife
Steam.
and you put
Yeah,
it
you do
Down
that.
the middle,
right
yeah.
between the eyes, just bash.
Bang.
But some people
in there,
don't, do
don't
they?
matter.
They actually just chuck them straight into hot water.
Just chuck them straight in
boiling
there. What
water.
do you need to? What do you need to kill them first for?
It's like, how would you rather die? Someone cutting your leg off and you bleed to death over like an hour, or someone just putting a gun to your head?
No, it's not that. They're
But isn't
cold-blooded. As soon as
isn't
it
there-
gets hot like that, they
I'd rather die doggy
instantly.
style.
Doesn't it do something to the meat, man? Because isn't
wanna
there
die doggy style.
there's a specific way the Japanese boats that get for sashimi, they kill the fish a certain way. Because do you know how we just in the UK and like most in Europe they just grab them and then they
Oh, I've
throw
been
them
on the boats.
they throw them into the ice.
Fish
They don't-
comes.
They
Fish
cut
comes
it
on board.
and they cut it and they do that thing. They put that rod through it to kill all the nerves and shit.
No, that's maybe in not maybe in some places in Japan they do, but I've been on
It doesn't kill
live
them. it
fishing
just
boats in Japan.
paralyzes.
Literally, what they do is they bring them on and they just chuck them in this tub full of water that's underneath, right? But when they actually have sushi for the thing, the guy as people are catching him, he just sits there and he goes whack and just smacks their head on the boat and then just starts, blood
Cut them
sprays everywhere, and then he just cuts them open and you just eat
I
it.
think
That's
I
okay.
think it's like as a town it does it where it gets they get the rawness of the fishes actually last longer because the way they treat the meat. I think that's the same way with the lobster. You get better meat when you kill it.
No,
instantly
Jinty, what
and
you're
cook
talking about, that technique when they're making when they're making sushi, that technique is when they're taking the fish for sushi. They don't actually kill the fish. What they're doing is they're destroying its cerebral cortex part of it, which leads to the rest of the body. So the animal's still alive, but it's just no longer like conscious.
Well, it stops the decaying process when they do that.
Yeah, I
They
know,
put
but it's still alive.
Yeah.
Just turn it into a
Mr. Kane,
vegetable.
tell us or tell me or there's a different way of killing a halal animal, isn't there?
Yeah.
So how
I mean,
what would the
basically,
different? Go on.
it's really an Abrahamic sort of like tradition.
kosher
So-
type thing.
Yeah, so kosher is very similar,
Blood,
and the only
no
difference
blood.
between the two is where the blade starts. So for Muslims, we
Right.
start the blade from the outside,
Hmm.
and it's different when it's kosher. But basically, the idea is that if you bleed an animal, it's the most humane way to let the animal die because it doesn't realize it just bleeds out. It just dies peacefully. And secondly, it takes all the blood out. So, but that's the way it is. It's a sacrifice that you're creating for an animal when you're gonna eat it and consume it.
So it's
And
slit
I
on the
suppose in a
throat.
way,
Yeah.
Thing
it's
is, for
basically
me,
done.
I like the taste of. I like a bit
Put
of
it
the
in
blood
I put it in the chat. Will
in the steak. You
What's
see,
that
that's the
called?
thing. I like a bit of the blood in the steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
I'll
I
put it
like
in
it to
the
go
chat.
all over the
when you talk
chips.
about steaks, I mean, that's why when you talk about steaks, is for me, I can't relate too much because
Yeah, of
blood
course.
is one of those things that we don't eat. But you know,
Yeah.
like I said, fair dues to everyone because everyone's got to eat everything. And even in my religion, if I was on a desert island and there was nothing to eat and a pig came along, I would say, "Thank you very much. That's lunch." And that's perfectly allowed in those situations where you got nothing else. Survival
You know
comes
what?
first.
That's a great idea. If Will Stewart does like a 3-hour stream, we could just do a roast live in the background, just roast something in the background.
That's all fucking food made.
You're not, I swear.
Mr. K wouldn't be able to eat it, but I would, man. Have you ever done a pig roast?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What? But you ever buried a pig?
So we do the. No, I'm not into
Well,
any kind of
I'd-
rituals or anything like that. I'm just
No,
it's
well,
like
no.
a
What I
meat.
mean, it's
It's like the way I spun that
smoke.
back on you.
No,
Well, I didn't
they
like my
dig a
auntie
pit,
very much,
they
and
dig a
she died
pit,
2 years ago.
and they fill the bottom with these big giant stones. Then they build a fire on top of the stones. And then they cover the fire with more stones. Then they throw a pig on there, and they cover the pig in stones, and then they bury it and cover it back up with the dirt. And it literally sits in there for like 24 hours. Like it's a really long time. So it's real low heat, maybe
They do
250
that in South
degrees,
Africa.
and it's completely smoked out. And then when you pull it out, it's literally like the meat just like if you were to grab it, it would literally just fall apart in your hand.
Yeah.
I mean,
We do something similar when you put it in a pit, and then you seal the pit and you put cement around the edge. And the heat inside just cooks it. But that's a long ass process, man.
it is.
takes
But it's
time.
good, man. Good.
Just put it in a smoker. Just smoke the meat.
Yeah, but it's not as cool when you're in a big pit. Like, cause like you go like on trips. I used to go on like these business trips where you'd spend the
Still
night,
salivating again.
and
Mate,
the
I'm hungry.
resort would do
hungry.
that.
Oh, no,
He's gonna grab a pit now.
He's going for a fucking pig roast.
I'm scared to eat because like Cody has a nervous breakdown. He can't handle it. He can't
Handle it.
Can't handle it.
But then too, my favorite thing, and this is another thing that Mr. K won't be able to eat, but is shellfish.
I love
Barbecue
shellfish.
shellfish.
I love shellfish.
Have you ever had barbecue shellfish?
I'm not a fish man.
Yeah,
It's not fish.
Fish is the best.
Shellfish is different than fish. I mean, it tastes completely different.
I like haddock. I'll do my homemade fish cakes, and they're pretty much street famous. Smoked haddock fish cakes, homemade fish cakes.
Have you ever
Absolutely
had
love them.
grilled sea bream or red mullet?
Yeah.
No, I like halibut. I like
So
halibut.
good. In fact, Scotland is a great place for fish. Brilliant place for fish.
Yeah.
That's why they have this thing
That's
called.
why it gets all shipped out, mate. Like, we literally catch it when no one ever touches it because it's immediately on Arctic lorries getting shipped out.
It's because your waters are so cold that the fish you get round there is just, oh man.
Yeah.
The
You ever had
closest
pollock? You ever had pollock?
Yeah, I've had
Catch
Yeah,
They-
pollock's nice.
They're
Hey,
lovely.
pollock's big on in chippies now because there was a shortage of cod for a while. A lot
Bob,
of chippies.
stop talking a load of pollock.
A lot of
But you
chippies
can
were
literally-
using pollock.
You can go down literally, you could just go right to the shoreline and catch so much around here of that shit, mate, if you wanted.
Yeah, it's
in
cheap.
Korea,
It's
there's
a
this thing
cheaper
called
option, isn't it? It's a cheaper option.
Yeah.
Choke
I mean, it's
gooey.
the same family as cod. It tastes
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. I love it. I love a bit of pollock.
Choge gooey.
Bob loves a bit of pollock.
I love a bit of pollock.
He loves a bit of pollock. Doggy style.
Doggy style pollock.
You guys ever had choge gooey?
Just joking.
So choge gooey is in Korea. They have these trays of shellfish, all different types, conchs, just clams, oysters, all any different size, shape. The big giant ones that look like a fan. The little small ones that are big and round, conch shells, and they bring them out, and you have this grill in front of you, and they just throw them on the grill, and when they're cooked, they'll open up, right? They just pop open, and then they have this spicy red sauce that you dip them in. I'm telling you, that was a little bit of like
are they-
vodka, like Korean
Oh.
vodka.
What about fish pakoras? Fish pakoras, mate. Honestly. I
Never
don't
had
know if
fish
you've had
pakora.
them, Mr. K. Fish pakoras, mate. You can't.
Yes,
a bit of nice,
absolutely love
nice
them.
solid fish like a halibut or a haddock, dipped in gram flour with spices, mate. It is the best ones I ever had. Were at a wedding, and it was
Didn't know that.
absolutely amazing fish pakoras. In fact, this is a wedding where Mum came out, and Mr. K, you'll think you'll relate to this. So, in old Indian biddies, Mum, sorry, God rest your soul, but I'll tell the story. Old Indian biddies, they've got this thing where they'll say a word, but they'll repeat it, but change the first two letters. So, for example, Mum would see someone walking and say, "Look at him walking, shawking." It's an Indian thing. A lot of old biddies do it. Anyway, we're kind of long story short. We're at this wedding, and I heard my mum and this auntie talking to each other, and they were talking in English, because they're obviously modern. And the auntie went, "Oh, so what is your son doing now?" And my mum said, "Oh, my son is into sales, Wales." And the auntie goes, "All right." And my mum goes to the auntie, "What about your son? What is he into?" And the other lady went, "Oh, my son is into banking, wanking." And I thought that just doesn't sound right. But it was so good. She said it on top of her voice. I thought banking, wanking.
So you're a corporate wanker.
That's it. Yeah, it's a banking,
No, they're just
wanking.
trying to speak in the vernacular of English. That's all, and they're just doing it
That's
terribly.
it.
Because
But
they
it's
don't-
common, isn't it?
Did she really say banking,
Yeah.
wanking?
But she said it with the hand move. She said with the head movement and the hand movement. She went, "Yes, my son was into banking, wanking," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Mum,
And my mum's going, "Oh, that's very good,
stop.
very good."
Mum, please stop, Mum.
I can
Please.
see we're having
Yeah.
a quality cast tonight.
Oh, mate, it was brilliant.
So we got nothing to talk about, man. What else we can talk about? To be honest, we're going to rant on about Nuno and Conte and Potter.
This is so much better than Tottenham.
Another
know.
thing Mum used to do.
Yeah.
Another thing Mum used to do, like she'd ring up like British Gas or whatever, and they go, "Okay, madam, what's your address?" And our address was 10 St Albans Road, but she could never say it properly. She'd be like, 10 St Albans Road, and they'd be like, "You what?" And she'd be like, 10 St Albans Road. So we had to give her lessons of how to say the address in
You sounded like we were talking Korean.
in a proper English accent. So we got the 10 St Albans Road. We got the 10 St Albans bit correct, but she'd never get the road right. So she'd be ringing up British Gas saying, and they go, "What's the address, please?" And she'd be going, "The address is 10 St Albans Road." She could never get the road right. So that'd be
so Asian. That is so
It is-
Asian.
that is it. So, no, my address is 10 St Albans Road. She can never get the road right. She can just never get the road right. The road.
10
Yeah.
St Albans.
Road. Yeah, that's Mum. Sorry,
Have
Mum.
you, that might upset you. Do what Jamie put in the chat? Have you ever heard of was it balut? Is that how you say it?
Balut.
Yeah,
What?
that's a crazy dish.
Oh, balut.
balut?
No.
Balut.
It's duck. It's,
Not a
it's,
character from Jungle Book.
it's like a chicken or a duck's fetus. Like, so they let it grow, and it's like a baby
In
chicken.
China, they eat baby ducks.
But it's like it's before. It's not like it hasn't been born. It's like a
Yeah.
fetus.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like from the egg itself.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
pickle them.
Why would you eat that? Why would you
In
eat
Korea, they or
Why'd
not
you eat
Korea,
that?
but China. I don't know.
I
It's
don't know.
gross.
I don't know what's worse, squirrels or balut. I mean,
Apparently, you can get in Brighton. It's the first thing that pops up. Yeah, it's like literally a little. You serve it in the egg, and it's just inside there.
Pickled
looks
quail
horrific.
eggs are amazing. I don't mean pickled like pickles, like dill pickles. I'm talking like pickled like in soy sauce.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
It's just like a regular egg, but it's tiny, right? It's like the size of I don't know, like a
Well,
malted
if
milk
they-
ball or something.
if they ever did an autopsy on your stomach, I reckon they'd find Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Still, click on that link in the private chat, mate, and be horrified.
Squid, octopus, shellfish.
There's a lot there, Heung.
You ever
The-
eaten
the-
pig's face?
Oh,
What's-
fuck me.
What's worrying is that Stell's actually salivating thinking about what's in your stomach. Like, ooh,
I'm worried. I'm worried.
Asamal wants to know if
We're
there's any
feasting on
manager for THFC. No manager. We've been talking about food for the last 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh my god.
the Meat Eater podcast.
See it now?
Street food.
I eat vegetables too.
Yeah, I like how he put up that thing what Aaron said. You know, apparently they say, you know, it's good for stamina. It's always with those disgusting foods. They always say it's something, you know, like, oh, it's good for the digestive system, or it's good for
But what's
in the
gross?
bedroom.
Ginty, how do you eat this balut thing?
You eat it just like that. You just hold. I mean, the bones are. It's fetus, mate. So he doesn't even like the bones are not are soft and shit.
That honestly looks fucking disgusting of the highest level.
It does.
Aren't we supposed to eat a part of Our Lady's parts after giving birth? After she's giving birth, or something.
Says who?
They're
You go
Sorry? Joking
knock
or
yourself out,
something?
Bob.
Come
Knock
on.
yourself
No,
out.
there's an ancient ritual in it where you're supposed to
Go for it,
Where?
G. What
Where?
ancient
Where is
rituals
it?
you
fire,
talking
Where?
about?
into.
My
You,
days.
you hold to your
Yeah.
ancient culture, bro.
afterbirth.
Yeah, I'm
You'd
gonna
have to Google it.
No.
He's
You
got
have to
with the
Google it.
afterbirth, mate.
When there was
Google
cavemen.
yourself.
When there was cavemen or something.
He's talking about, you know,
No,
how
Jesus,
animals
no.
animals will eat the afterbirth, and that's what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
No.
cat will.
No.
The cat will.
There is
cat
a
will.
tradition,
Yeah.
or maybe it's just me being a twat, munching on an umbilical
Giving a
cord for no
treat.
reason.
That's right. It's that, mate. It's that. Trust me.
There is something
Move
on
on.
Google. Fuck, I'm going to find it now.
Listen,
You do that and keep it to yourself
This
as
has
well.
gone way off track. Let's bring someone who's not going to help it get back on track.
let's bring another victim. Oh,
Jason
Jason, God help
Gross.
us. God help us.
Hi,
We're
Jason.
fucked. We're fucked.
How you doing, Jason?
Good morning, Jason.
Jason.
He's giving us a silent treatment.
I think I've just seen a picture of that balut.
Shut up.
That's you. I'll keep you up at night, mate.
Jason.
Is he on mute by any chance?
He
Nope.
took
It's
himself
a
out.
signal issue. But yeah, moving along.
But,
it's nice
no,
to
I
get
do
away from
like
that last
some,
season, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like some Indian food. Bob, what's the one? What's that bread? That flat bread that they do?
None.
Paratha.
Oh, chapati.
I don't know.
You heard about naan bread, paratha,
Yeah,
puri.
naan bread, probably.
Don't you
No,
love
bread,
Mr.
yeah.
K, right? Don't you love Mr. K? He could have said chapati, but no. Chapati.
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 No, it's either naan bread, puri, chapati.
What is a chapati?
He's up from London.
Hello?
Chapati.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you
Chapati.
now, Jason.
Okay.
There you
I
go.
was saying, like,
Jason knows.
I
He's a
miss
chef.
fucking curry so bad. So bad.
You can't
Like
get curry
Indian
in
food.
Canada.
Proper Indian food, mate. Since I moved to Canada, like I've actually learned to cook curry because that's the only way I was getting a decent one.
Mate, without bigging myself up, I'm known as Gordon Ramsay. That's how good I
Bob,
am.
I got a question.
At,
There was one time I went to
Now I'm
a
flying to your house,
curries.
Bob, because you're cooking me a curry.
Since you're
La-
Gordon Ramsay for
Fucking
curry,
hell.
Bob, I got a question. There was this one time.
Lemon potato curry. Lemon potato curry.
God,
There was
Number
one
one
time,
dish.
Bob. There's this one time where I went to this Indian restaurant in
Go on, mate.
Korea, and there was like a
Gordon Ramsay.
I want to say like a leavened bread that had meat inside of that, and then
Yeah.
the unleavened bread on top of it.
Keemanon, was
Yeah.
it? Is it Keemanon?
Yeah, it'd be keema naan.
That was really good.
No,
It's
Peshwari.
Yeah, it'd be keema naan.
Peshwari.
And it's
Peshwari,
better
is
when
that
when the
one with
meat is
coconut?
actually
Yeah.
flattened out along with the
Yeah, it was like almost not quite shredded, but just
no
Yeah.
yeah.
flattened.
Like mince.
Flattened, yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah, that's
good.
all it is. So
Mash.
you get what we call a spiced lamb patties, and basically they're halved and they're flattened out. They're put in between, like say, leaven flour. Then they're put on top. Then they actually just put on a large stove and cooked off. But the meat's got to be pre-cooked. You can't cook it within the bread.
Bread, obviously,
otherwise
yeah,
it will just
burn.
burn. Yeah,
And then
Beautiful.
curry on the side, and
yeah, man.
Bob, do you like paratha?
I love paratha.
Yeah, it's my favourite
I
one.
love paratha,
Favourite
mate. It's
bread.
got to be. It's the best one. Is people like either potato or cauliflower. I love them mixed. You got a bit of potato, bit of cauliflower in it, all the spices. You got to make. Don't use any of that oil shit. It's got to be ghee. It's got to be proper ghee, inside and outside. And it's like one a day because that fucking it just fills you
Oh.
up for the day.
Bob, do you like,
And it has to be with cold yogurt with a bit of pickle.
do you like spiced onions, like at the side to dip into some poppadoms? Or naan bread?
Yeah.
Spiced onions. Yeah. Did you have the spiced onions like diced and they've been marinated in the spice for a while?
Do you like?
Yeah.
Some,
Yeah.
like some
I
Sainsbury's?
went. There was actual like Indian chefs up here in a restaurant, right? And I ordered spiced onions, mate. And they came in an actual like rice container, and I was like, "What the? That's a lot, man."
Huh?
They've gave me right. I opened it up. It was onion rings, raw onion ring, and they'd poured the sauce over it. It was
Beautiful.
like it was still raw
Oh,
because like you
man.
could taste it hadn't been marinated, and it was fucking like an actual onion ring that you hadn't
Done,
battled,
son.
and that's
Don't
they
get
gave
that.
it spiced onion. I was fucking raging.
I'd rather
So-
have a squirrel.
Goat curry.
Goat curry is good, but you have to. You have to take your time with it. I use lamb shoulder when I
listen,
do
West
my.
Indian people.
When I do my.
West
Yeah,
Indians
yeah.
make the best goat curry, man. Goat curry, goat
Oh, yeah,
West
definitely.
Indians.
I'll be honest, I've never had goat curry.
Oh,
now,
bad boy.
I would eat
Patient.
it. I'm
patient.
not squeamish about the
patient.
meat I eat. I would definitely try it. I've just never
You
had
can't
it.
rush it. You can't
Tastes
rush
like
it.
chicken.
I like to say.
Just like chicken.
Yeah. I
oh,
use.
and-
I would think it would
use
taste like lamb.
You know, you was talking about
I'm joking.
pig roasts. I've actually done like when I was in Britain, like my local boozer or one of my local boozers, like every summer they'd do a big fucking like spit roast, and that was good. And then when I come in and the boonies of Canada, like they do like fucking they'd like smoke the whole pig, and fuck, that is next level good.
Do you know the best ones, the small ones, the piglets? They're more succulent.
The babies.
Piglet.
I only eat babies.
Well, let's face it, the baby of anything.
As a
is
Scottish
succulent.
person wearing a green striped shirt, you shouldn't say that, Genty. It brings back Austin Power memories.
green striped, mate. Are you colorblind?
That's not
It looks green from my screen.
Oh, it's
Don't on
blue.
me.
It does look green.
Does it?
Don't
What?
on me.
Yeah, like a forest green.
Oh, is this the like?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no,
real
no,
dark.
his left shoulder is blue and his right shoulder is green.
It's the light.
The lighting effect.
Is it? It's like the you
light
know
effect.
the blue
Mr.
of
Guy, how
blue,
you
white,
doing,
gold. Jess, you know.
Sorry, mate.
This is
Possibly.
turned into.
8%ers.
I swear, Ginty, come on, mate. It's like, what's going on? You're getting a little bit down. Cheer up a little bit.
Because I'm a Spurs fan.
Is it Cody? Is it Cody's done some stuff to you in the chat?
Show us on the doll what he did. Where did he touch you?
He doesn't even have the fact he doesn't even have the internet to come over and actually face me. He has to just sit in the comment section like a little keyboard warrior. He could come on
No,
the
he
show.
started on Jason as well. He started on after you left. He started on Jason.
What'd you
Did
say
he?
about my mama?
Did
And he
start
can't
on
write.
me,
He's
did he?
he's had too much boxed wine, Genty. You can't let him get to it. He's like, this is the worst.
Boxed
Tottenham
wine,
show-
mate. That's the
While also being the
fucking
best
thing we
Tottenham
should
show
underline.
I've ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But,
don't think he's quite reached Brian Island levels of drunk yet, though.
You'd be surprised. There's been a couple times where Cody started slurring. That's usually when he if you go back and watch some of the older late night rants, and right before he gets off the show, because he's packed away a couple bottles of or a couple boxes of wine. He's
Couple of boxes, man. There's about 5 liters of wine in a box, man.
I
He's
don't know.
Canadian. They pack it back.
He drinks wine out of a mason jar. It's like, can't get much more hillbilly than that.
He's cultured.
It's a Scottish roots, I guess.
All right, now.
No, I'm serious. That's what Scots were known for here in the U.S. of being hillbillies, right? So the Scotch and the Irish would go up into the Appalachian Mountains because they were used to it in the Highlands, right? So they could fare that climate better.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of the hillbilly culture, fiddles and dances and
Cousin.
doing your own alcohol.
I thought you was going to go off the deep end with that. I was going to go, whoa.
Cousins. No, I'm just kidding.
Hell device. I already said it. I had it underneath it. You didn't hear me say it. I mean, did you not know the Hills of Eyes is actually based off a Scottish legend of this crazy clan of people that would lived in a cave and they would just rob highwaymen and they would eat them as well. They're like, oh fuck it, like why? Because it was actually kind of to get rid of the body because the people kept turning up dead near the cave and they thought because it was back in like the 13th century and Scottish people were superstitious that we have a lot of water mythological creatures and animals, so they always thought it was some sort of like water creature was killing people. So then they thought, oh, let's just keep the meat, and so they started eating people, and that's where the Hills of Eyes come from.
And they say romance is dead. Guys, I got work in 5 hours, so I am off. Good night.
Yeah, man.
And
Good night, Bob.
And speak
It's
to you
daylight already,
tomorrow.
mate. It's daylight. Good
Happy
morning.
Happy
doggy
mate.
styling.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm off to cook a curry.
Yeah,
Good night.
it's already daylight here.
I'm off to cook.
No, but I mean that's no. But
At
good
4
night,
in the
Bob.
morning.
Thanks for joining the show.
See you, mate.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Have a good
Do you,
night.
want do you want the lovely Scottish hills in the background? Is that better?
How's the daytime there already?
Because it's fucking. I
4
live
hours
so
in
high up that fucking hemisphere, mate. That's what it's like in the summertime.
It's nighttime all the time, or daytime all the time, huh? Like Alaska.
Yep.
But no, so in the Appalachians, you had that culture, right? So like you had, and a lot of the fights too were between Scottish families and Irish families, and they would, there were whiskey distilleries all across.
Whiskey. I want a whiskey.
Like, what's that famous feud in America? The
Tea Party.
Oh, I know the one.
North v South.
No. It was the two clans.
Dallas
wasn't it?
Yeah, the
Cowboys
two clans.
versus Chicago Bears.
Oh, you talk about the Western one?
Yeah.
but there's not Western. That was Eastern. That was Appalachians.
Knicks versus
the
Lakers.
McCoys,
The
McCoys and Hatfields.
Hatfields, and McCoys.
Yeah,
And
that's
Red
it.
Sox versus the White Sox.
What Hatfield is Scottish and McCoy's Irish? I can't remember. Or the other way around.
McCoys make crisps in Britain.
Yeah. It's a Scottish brand as well.
Yeah.
So McCoys must be Scottish.
I'm
then.
being serious. Get McCoy's crisps.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
They're quite
I
nice.
used to live there. I ate them.
You hate them or you ate
Sorry. Were you
No,
were you doing
I
were you
ate
doing
them.
were you doing a Mr. K, right? Did you say I hate them, or did you Mr.
No,
K?
I ate them.
I ate them.
I ate them. I
Oh,
dropped
I
my
ate 'em.
H's, man. That's what it is.
I ate them.
Guys, I'm getting a little bit sleepy. I think basically people started yawning. It made me yawn all of a sudden. And I thought to myself, look, it's 4:30 in the morning for me. Unfortunately, I got some swimming to do with my son tomorrow. So
Chapati.
I got to say good night to everyone. Get a few hours of sleep while I possibly can while the sun is coming up. I just want to, to all the viewers that are viewing, if you haven't already smashed a like, please do so. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, join this channel. It's quite interesting. It'll be an interesting ride throughout summer for a start. And the panel, thank you very much. Honestly, you guys are great.
Big up, Mr. K. Big
it
up,
looks
big
like,
up,
Anything
Mr.
without
K.
the panel, trust me.
Big up, Mr. K.
Good night, Mr. K.
And
It looks
everyone in
like
the comments,
Hatfield is York, the northern England. And then,
Oh, no wonder they were at each other's throats then.
boy,
Huh?
Aaron didn't notice I was there. Never mind. Listen, guys,
And
good night
McCoy
to you all, right?
Irish, Scottish.
Catch you later, Mr. K.
Actually, McCoy's, didn't they do like oh, maybe it was them. I could be getting them wrong now. Who did like the English mustard and fucking beef flavour?
Coleman's.
No. Coleman's English mustard chips, like crisps. Who did the
Walker.
Golden Wonder.
No, not Walkers. It weren't Golden Wonder. It was one of them off brands, but well known.
Space
Tills?
Raiders.
McCoy
They
did
didn't
it.
do
There
English
is-
mustard and
sorry.
beef.
Space Invaders. Space Raiders.
McCoy
Frazzles.
does have
Frazzles.
Johnny's
Oh,
onion rings.
Frazzles were bacon.
Yeah, they were good, man.
They fucking were. I used to
Skips.
get them at the school
Quavers.
lunch. Oh,
Skip quick pie. Yeah.
Skips. Do you know the flavour of
French
crisps
fries.
you can't get in Canada?
What?
Worcestershire sauce flavoured.
I don't think
You
you
can't
can
get
get
that
over
here.
here anymore
They
either.
They don't.
Really?
They stopped.
They
Yeah,
were
they
the
stopped it.
shit. I
They
love
stopped
them
it.
things.
Just get some Worcestershire sauce, mate, and pour them over your chips.
Yeah, but then you end up
Yeah,
with
Worcestershire
soggy
sauce
Then
here.
you can
We
get
do it quick,
close,
so you
but
grab
they-
the chip, right, and then you go. I'm saying chip for you as well, man. So you just go, do boom, straight in.
Yeah, like
you say Chris?
who
I'm
you
say
say
crisp, I
who you
say
say
crisp.
chip for? Me or
I know.
Ryan?
I was saying it because talking to them Americans, you know.
Yeah, I'm American, but I'm cultured, so I know.
No,
what
I'm
Chris is.
seeing
No,
other
Will, sorry.
Americans. You're not the only American person I ever know. Okay, I get around, all right.
he's a man of the world.
Yeah,
He's a man eater.
I've spent as much time overseas almost as I have in the in the U.S.
Yeah.
Most of it's in Asia, though.
If I stay here a couple of years longer, mate, I've been living out in the middle of nowhere longer than I've been in Glasgow, and
So is Cody.
that's scaring me.
Cody lives in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I like the middle of nowhere. I'm a hillbilly. I'm from the hills of Missouri.
Listen, after living in
So you're
a big
some
city
some real
for so many
deliverance
years,
country.
mate,
That's-
get
Like,
out
he
of
knows
the
how to
Arkansas.
make moonshine. Don't let that.
Arkansas.
the
You
music.
know that
You
show on the
guys-
History Channel, Moonshiners, that literally
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
like in the city,
Right,
in the area from Virginia where I live. That actually
Get
that's
out
where
of
it's
the big
at.
city, man.
Okay.
Fuck the big city.
How do they not get arrested? Literally, it's all there on the
They
show.
do.
Like, yeah, but do you
Just
know what I
chaos
mean? Though
thought,
they
that's
literally broadcast what they're fucking doing. Always baffled me that did with that show.
What show's that?
It's all fake, mate.
Moonshiners.
I hate to tell you, TV's fake. I'm sorry.
No, I genuinely believe some of them are good old boys.
Oh, you can see them. You can see them around town.
Yeah.
Good hope.
Like
It's
where
actually a
my
really
company's warehouse used to be is literally right there where they filmed that show.
It's an interesting show to watch.
Is it? I've never even heard of it.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know about you, mate. I've stopped watching normal TV.
Oh, I've
on the History Channel.
I've cut the call completely. Like,
We got Jason over there, and he goes over there to Oak Island all the time. Digs for
right, I
treasure.
found the treasure, mate. I'm living the Vida Loca over here. Let me fucking tell you, I'm rich as shit.
Surprised you never
Laughing
came
at
across.
you.
You've never heard Gaelic being spoken.
Could you
Like, what the
imagine-
fuck are they saying? Because
Can you imagine they're spending millions of dollars to dig up that island? They're probably going to find alcohol.
Yeah, but what you're talking about, Ginty, I know there are places over here where they actually speak certain dialects that aren't even spoke over there anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like where I am is mainly fucking people speaking Fringlish. It's like Arcadian, which is like you'll hear them in Tim's, and it's like it's a mixture of English and French, where they'll say shit in French that a Frenchman would swear at them for, and then they bastardize English words, but say it as if I was trying to take the piss out of someone French by saying things with a French accent, that's kind of what they'd be like, blah blah blah, tree wheeler. Like, do you know what I mean? It's fucked up. Like, it's just I don't
That's
get
because
it.
you're stuck over there in the corner and you're cut off from the rest of normal Canada because of Quebec, right? So
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just fucking Nova Scotia, isn't it?
Jason, how come
That's
you
weird,
moved
it's
out
the
to
same.
Canada?
Long story cut short, I'm a gamer, like amongst other things, and a friend of mine who lived where I live now, he introduced me to who would then become my wife, who lived out here. So I moved out here, got married, and now I'm a divorced single father too. So that was worked out. But I'm still here.
Do you know what? I don't even feel sorry for you, or feel sympathy for you, or feel bad for you.
I really don't want your fucking sympathy.
No, because it's not as painful as supporting Tottenham, Jason. That's where I feel bad for you, mate.
I was going to say, how's he going to turn this around, mate? Because that was that was terrible. That was awful. I don't care about your problems in life.
I literally wasn't telling you because I want anyone to care. They're my issues.
No.
But
where I was
you
going
are
with it
right.
was-
It has
what-
not
what I was-
caused.
Yeah,
It hasn't caused me as much anguish as fucking Spurs have in the last few months.
that's where I was
let me
going with
tell
it. That's where I was going with
Yeah.
it. Nothing.
You ain't
can
wrong.
compare.
You really can't.
So what?
It's
So,
like that song.
so you basically stayed out there then? You just chosen to stay out there.
Well, yeah. I mean, my kids were born here. Like we were married. We were together for. I've been out here 13 years now. We were married for 11. Like my kids just turned. No, we were married for 12. My kids have just turned 12, and I'll be honest with you, mate.
They're happy
Like
there.
my upbringing in England, like I don't know what it's like now, but like where I went to school, it was a lot more dog eat dog than it is here. Like the way of life here is so much more relaxed. I'd rather bring my kids up here if I'm being completely honest.
Where'd
with
you grow up in England?
I'm an Essex boy.
Whereabouts?
Well, I was born in Epping Hospital. I lived in Chigwell, Limes Farm. Like the
Chigwell's a lovely area, man.
Not Limes Farm, it ain't. Fucking Limes Farm's like a down and out druggy fucking estate on one of the edges of Chigwell.
I swear the
And then
characters
like
are
we moved from there to Debden, like Loughton.
Yeah, I know Loughton.
Right, well,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
Debden, yeah? Which is like the council estate, sort of tacked on the edge of Loughton.
One of our soccer schools is based there.
Yeah. I mean, Loughton's a lovely place and all. I'm not saying I've had it rough. Loughton's a lovely place.
You got we actually hire out Debden School.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
There's only one Debden School.
Well, no, there was two. There was 3 schools there when I lived there.
There's only one called Debden, though.
Where is it? Like, whereabouts in Debden is it?
It's the one that's got the 3G pitch on.
Okay. Because the school that used to be called Debden closed down. Because it was a split high school. As you went, like, you had Debden High Road, yeah? You come to the end of it, you do a right, then you do the first left, you go down there. I think they built a college on the right, and there was like soccer fields, like football fields.
They've been the college. It's
on the left.
Willingale Road.
Yes! Okay, I know exactly where you mean now.
Yeah.
All right, so you hire that out.
Small world, huh? I keep saying to people,
I managed to mute in time.
the football community is a small world. I keep saying it to everyone.
Yeah, and then I ended up living in Harlow for a stint. That was a joyous occasion.
Will, Jinsey, you can feel free to leave, yeah?
Yeah. Cody Mack has a question here, and he says, if you could relive
season now.
One season in the history of Tottenham, which season would you relive?
Last season.
Oh God, no!
Are you sadistic? Like, what the fuck's up with you?
Is that because you can?
You're a
That's because
sadist.
you can predict everything, so you can just do a whole year of "I told you." That's what you'd like about that, wouldn't it? You could just say, "This is all gone to shit." Trust me, Mourinho's getting sacked, and just before a cup final, and you don't be like, "No, he's talking shit," and you're like, "Watch me." That's what you would love about that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it.
Listen, last season, I'd relive it just to confirm it actually fucking happened. 'Cause I still refuse to believe that shit went down, man.
Who would want to relive that thing? I can't. I still can't believe there's 50 people watching us. That's what I can't believe.
I know, especially when you start talking about absolute like nano parts of Essex, man. Like, yeah, like who
For me would be
which season? We haven't had any.
The Leicester one, mate. The one that the Leicester
For
one.
me, it would be 91.
It'd have to be the Champions League final year. I mean, that season going up until that point was like it was so. The Champions League run was so good that I completely didn't even notice how shit we were in the league the second half of the season.
That's the problem, man. But you would already know how
you had something to hold on to, even after the season was over.
But you know how bad you. I'm guessing by this question, you know what's going to happen. Like, it's not like fresh in your mind. You still know. So like, you know the Champions League is going to.
I would call Pochettino and tell him to not play Sissoko.
Trust me. Just phone up.
Yeah, but like literally that. I mean, I know by the rules of football that was a handball, but that was the least handball-y fucking handball I've ever seen.
But at the time, it wasn't even. That's the thing. They had rules weren't supposed to go to the back. They had changed the rule, but the rule wasn't supposed to go into effect until June.
Yeah.
That was so fucking Tottenham.
They called it right because the word intentional was still in that year's law, and they had changed the law.
Fuming.
But they started calling it again that way at the end, and it was horrible. I was pissed. I mean, that for that exact reason, because they specifically stated that the rules weren't going into effect until June.
But they were already doing it.
But they were already they were calling it.
I mean, if I remember rightly, he literally kicked the ball with his fucking hand. It's not like it wasn't hand to ball. It was like fucking kicked at him.
Jason,
he wasn't even looking at the ball. He was looking at someone else, and he was pointing. Turned his head, and the ball hit him right in the arm.
But I know his hand wasn't in a natural place.
We played shit regardless.
Yeah, but so did Liverpool. They were there taking.
And that goal in the first minute changed everything.
Liverpool were not good.
We had 89 minutes.
Wind right out of
89 minutes to get back into the game. We did nothing.
Yeah, but they sucked the
but
wind
I
right
honestly,
out of
like the second half, I thought we gave them a little bit of a
I think as Spurs fans, we always look for like an excuse or a reason as to why something happened, or it's just sometimes it's just easy just to state the obvious, which was we weren't good enough on the day. We weren't. I don't know why we weren't good enough. I don't know why, but we weren't.
You know, I think I'd prefer to go back to when Leicester City won the league, where we were just behind them always, because that'd be the most enjoyment you would get for the long, like in my lifetime anyway, because we were always just going to be behind them. We're like, oh, let's try and pip them, and we're playing well, and then we fumbled.
I thought we were going to catch them, man. I really thought we were going to catch them.
What's the best game you ever went to? Like, what's your favourite game you ever went to?
I've never been to one. So.
Never been to one either. Sorry.
Best game.
So, Strel, question for you.
Greece versus Czech Republic, Euro 2004 semi-final.
Wait, you mean? Oh, I've been to football matches. I thought it was Spurs.
Tottenham. Come on, still. I've got a couple.
Do you know what? My first ever game was just like the best game atmosphere.
Yeah.
Was Tottenham Chelsea when we beat them 5-1 in the semi-final of the Carabao. It was called the Carling Cup.
Cup.
No, it was before the Carling Cup. It's when we lost to Blackburn Rovers in the final. Glenn Hoddle was manager.
Oh, fuck.
The final was at the Millennium Stadium in Wales.
Yeah, what was that? Because that cup's changed its name a lot.
Was it the Littlewoods?
League Cup? Was it just League Cup?
Was it just the League Cup? I think it might have just been the League Cup, wasn't it?
No, it had a name. It was Rombelows Littlewood Milk Cup.
The Rombelows
yeah.
Cup.
The Rombelows Cup. Gone bankrupt, isn't it? Yeah,
so
but anyway,
that was your favourite atmosphere,
mate. That game, we were brilliant. We were just brilliant. We beat Chelsea 5-1, man. We were wicked, brilliant. The atmosphere was unbelievable.
Yeah, and we didn't beat Chelsea a lot then either.
This is a question for you.
How long was that fucking run where we hadn't beat them? How long did that go on for?
22 years.
See, my favourite game, and I've got a terrible memory, so I don't quite remember the year, but I think it was a cup quarter final, and we were playing Man City away, and we beat them. But the bit that makes it stick in my memory was like, at some point, the Man City fans stormed the pitch at us, and we didn't charge.
Hold on,
back.
please continue. I have to go to the restroom, but I will be listening, and I will kick you out if you try to just trash my channel.
Okay.
We didn't charge back on nothing. We were like celebrating because we were.
What was the most racist thing you heard in a football ground?
Don't ever say that.
But then that was the match when they brought all the mounted police on in the middle of the pitch.
And left.
Right? But that was the match when they brought they brought all the mounted police onto the pitch, and the funniest thing was,
I remember
instead of facing all the nutty Man City supporters that were charging us, they faced us like we were doing something. We're like, no, dude, we're just sitting here singing because we're winning. Like, we're not going to forfeit the match.
Was that the craziest thing you've seen when you've been at a game?
That was. Like, literally seeing mounted police in the middle of the pitch. I was like, wow, that's the thing. The most fearful I've ever been was at Chelsea's ground. Like going into it, like the things were getting thrown. That was wrong. That's bad.
Nah, mate, I'll tell you what. I went to an FA Cup game once away, Spurs Millwall. The most horrible experience. The most horrible experience.
Yeah, I've never been to Millwall, man. But like Chelsea was bad.
Awful, mate. They were throwing oranges at us with razor blades in the oranges.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nasty, not horrible. I mean, there's kids in the stand. Yeah,
I know. They're animals.
Fuck it, mate. And the police had no control. No control.
Well, no. Do you remember, like, for the longest time at fucking Chelsea's ground?
I'll never go to
like, all the stands had, like, roofs except the away stand. So we'd get fucking soaked while their supporters didn't. Because we were just, like, out in the open getting wet.
Yeah.
I've never had any, like, violent thing, but I think the weirdest thing I've ever seen, or kind of just someone just being nutty, was when I was at a Celtic game, is, like, the match is starting, right? And the whistle blows for kickoff, and there's a guy 2 rows behind us just stands up and just takes off his top and just goes, "Time for a goal, Celtic!" And the match is just like he's just kicked off. And he's screaming that. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's dedication right there.
Mate,
It's just the way it went, "Time for a goal, Celtic," as soon as the fucking whistle blew.
the first game of this season at White Hart Lane, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stand there like that and go, "Time for a manager, Tottenham."
Oh, do it still.
Got to do the shirt as well. You got to take it off at the same. It's the fact he went like that. Went, fucking Everton.
That's it. The Worthington Cup final. Worthington Cup.
Worthington, yes.
Worthington Cup final.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what year that match was against Man City. Was it like 94 or something like that?
I remember that game. Was it the Kippax, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you remember the time when Man City were really shite? I mean, I do too.
They weren't good.
Do you know what? They always had good players though. Like King Clancy, he was really good.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who feed the goat in the old score? Who's that guy? Sean Goaters? Was that it?
Sean Goater.
Yeah.
Do you know one of the best keepers I ever saw though? I'm not going to remember his first name. He was kind of a fattish looking dude, like Neville.
Neville Southall.
Oh, fucking what a keeper!
Everton goalie. He was top.
Yeah. No, he was like literally one of the best keepers. One of the best goalkeepers I have ever seen play. Like he was phenomenal.
That's back in the day when footballers had moustaches.
Yes, but he wasn't a thin lad, was he? Like he carried a few pounds from the looks of him.
He
Was he as bad as that Sutton goalkeeper that was on the news for like eating a pie during that?
No. He wasn't like
Fucking
fat. He was just a big guy. But what a goalkeeper, though, wasn't he?
Neville Southall was a brilliant goalkeeper.
He was.
Never heard of him.
If Will Stewart is listening, you've got a super chat. You might want to deal with it because we can't. That's it. Main Road. Oh, well done, Will. He's listening. That's the game. That's the game, Jason.
Yes, it was at Main Road. It was a court. Yeah,
that's
the
it.
FA Cup game.
was the stand. That's it.
Yeah, it was at Main Road. Was you there, mate? Was you there, Wayne?
I remember watching it. I wasn't at the game.
Yeah, I was there. That was a fun game.
Wayne Bonner says, was Man City FA Cup 1993 Main Road? That type of thing.
That sounds about right. Like I said, I've got a crap memory for dates, but it was at their ground, so it was at Main Road because we was away.
Just blop.
Man, that was a fun game.
Oh no!
Don't cough, Will. Whatever you do.
Oh Jesus Christ!
So,
yeah, that's when I saw it on BBC TV. I remember.
I don't know. Well, I was there.
Remember back in the days when that used to be on normal TV, you could actually watch football.
It's when the horses were on the pitch and everything.
I know it was. Yeah, but dude, like I don't know if they literally faced us like we were the ones doing something. It's like no. Turn round. They're the ones on the pitch, not us. Face the other way. We're literally not moving. Yeah. So, you London hooligans. It's like no. We're not moving.
Man City fans, they used to have good atmosphere when they're at Main Road. Now it's their fans. Half the fans they're just kind of glory hunters now. Some of them.
Oh,
that's what happens when you become successful, don't it?
Yeah.
I think they've just gained a lot of fans because over the last 10 years, whereas before Man City was always a decent sized club, but their fans were different.
No, Man City were a big club. Like they
nothing compared to the other side of the Manchester.
No, but
of course not. Of course not.
They weren't a small club though. Do you know what I mean?
Right. They were always the working boy, weren't they? Of that derby. It wasn't even a derby back then, was it? They didn't even take it as a derby. It was Liverpool. The Man U cared about it that time.
I've got a Spurs related question. Because you know you got like the London derby, Tottenham Arsenal. Yeah. But genuinely, who do you dislike more, Arsenal or Chelsea? Because I know who I dislike more now. I actually dislike Chelsea more.
The only reason I actually not growing up being in that kind of area, I only really cared about the North London derby, and then the only reason I actually hate Chelsea now is their connection to Rangers, which is the little rival of Celtic.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I don't like them. But before I learned that, I didn't really give a shit about Chelsea, to be honest.
Okay. See, don't get me wrong. I will never ever not dislike Arsenal, but I find I dislike Chelsea more than I do Arsenal.
So here's the thing, Jason. Right? Hey, what's up, Marcel? So for me, I hate the football club and the fans of Chelsea more than Arsenal. So
absolutely.
If you'd say to me, who do you hate more? I'd say Chelsea. But I hate losing. I hate losing to Arsenal more than I hate losing to Chelsea.
I mean, you're not wrong. As it stands, that's probably a better analogy of how I feel.
Listen, I always say it like this. I hate Arsenal because I'm a Spurs fan. But I hate Chelsea because I'm a human being. If you're a human being and you love football, you hate Chelsea. Simple love. They have ruined football. They have made football into a money hungry,
we could have been Chelsea though.
We could have been. But they have ruined football. Their fans are the worst. Their fans are always involved with some, a lot of the controversies. Let's be real here. They've always been involved with, especially, racism, just speaking facts. They've always been involved in that shit. Nobody likes Chelsea fans. Everybody hates Chelsea fans. They're fake. They're plastics. They're not real football fans.
Marcelo.
The one thing I can say about an Arsenal fan...
You've got the wrong colour on Arsenal. Marcelo, you've got to have the red.
The one thing I hate about... I hate Arsenal fans, but the one thing I will say this... an Arsenal fan, I've never doubted their love for the club.
Right.
With an Arsenal fan, because I'm like, if you're an Arsenal fan, you're probably an Arsenal fan because it's really shit right now. But how many Chelsea fans left Chelsea during their bad period and went to City? So many. They're full of plastics. They're fake. There used to be nobodies. They're like City. They used to be nobodies, man.
Dude,
nobody.
Why are you wearing a safety vest though? That's what I'm curious about.
It's not a safety vest. It's
Dragon Ball Z.
I'm teasing.
Chelsea's
Chelsea's
pajamas.
the reason we're called the Yids, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Chelsea fans were, yeah.
They used to call us Yids, which was a racist slur at the Jewish fan base.
Yeah.
So,
is that from Yiddish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they used to chant Yids and all that. They said it in a nasty way, but then over the years, the fans
took it,
of Spurs,
blamed it.
we swung it around and called it Yid Army, with a Yid Army, and then that's how it evolved.
Yeah. I hate Chelsea.
We put a positive spin on a bad word.
Man.
But do you ever think about what could have been like with that whole thing they're talking about with Roman Abramovich? You ever heard of that? The saying
Every day.
Call it the $1 billion goal.
Every day.
Don't get me wrong, dude. Look, if he wants to switch from Chelsea and buy us all the
but
players,
have you heard of the story? Have you heard the story though? Like he was looking to buy a club, and it was literally he wanted a club that was going to be in Europe, and it was the last day of the season, and Chelsea scored just to get into Europe, and it's known as the $1 billion goal because it was the reason he chose Chelsea over Spurs.
Well, that's about the most Spursy thing I've heard.
No. Actually, he actually offered to buy Spurs first, but then he didn't want to sell.
Yeah.
No, but he wasn't. He was going to buy. He was going to buy them more, but then when he was like, "Oh, they're in Europe and they're going to sell, so I'll go for them because they scored that goal." You know.
Well, it's kind of that's just
I'm good at
football,
putting
man.
positive spins on bad things. I don't think that's what I'm famous for.
Have you been watching this channel? Rick?
Not you, to Spurs. He wasn't saying. He was just saying that at you to show you.
Do they know that Will Stewart eats squirrels?
I've eaten squirrel. Marcel, you ever eaten squirrel?
No.
Don't
What's
do
the
it.
craziest thing you've ate, Marcel?
Don't do it. Don't do
Things
it.
I
You guys eat
mean,
iguanas down in Brazil, right? Snake.
no, I've eaten snake. I've eaten rabbit. I've eaten bird, like just birds. I've eaten
Any
that.
bird or
Just birds. He
birds?
just like fucking knock one with a
Robin.
stone.
Yeah, no, for real. We like as kids, we used to kill birds and we would like cook them
Cook 'em
and
up.
eat them. Yeah, for fun. It was just. Yeah,
Partridge in a pear tree.
I
We-
used
we-
to
we
I used to
just-
hunt when
we
when
just-
we were kids. We used to go hunting a lot in Brazil. There's a lot of animals, so
See, I've
in
eaten
England,
bear,
It's a whole rainforest.
which
out
isn't
here.
crazy. Yeah, bear isn't crazy, but as someone from Britain, that's a crazy fucking thing to eat.
People
you
eat
know what I
bear.
mean? Yeah, they
America?
do, but no one in Britain does.
Have you ever
Buffalo?
had?
Ever had a
Have you-
buffalo?
buffalo. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've had
I've
buffalo.
never had buffalo, but they do eat buffalo
Horse
here.
is
Where you
nice.
get bison,
I've eaten horse.
bird.
Bison is good. Oh, I love bison tail. Like you ever eaten bison tail? Bison tail is really good.
Maybe
In,
it's too
in
bad.
Brazil,
and then like you eat
and
moose
America.
up there in Canada, don't you? Jason?
What?
Yeah, I've had moose. Yeah.
Moose,
You know, in
yeah.
Brazil and in Canada, sorry, America. Do you, when you were at school, did you ever have conquer wars?
What? Concords? What is that?
Oh, you haven't lived, boys.
Conkers. No, just
Do you know-
conkers. They just call it conkers.
It's called conkers.
No, I
Concord.
don't think
Oh,
I've
right.
had any of
It's
that.
like,
Never heard of
like
that.
you get a horse chestnut, you put a string through it, and you like take swings at each other's nuts.
It's like
Aaron Dunn. Aaron Dunn. Hold on a second. I have to respond. He got invited to a Brazilian barbecue and he declined chicken heart. One, that is a sin. Chicken heart is about one of the most delicious
yeah, it's
things
nice. It's very
you
nice.
can have. It is so nice and it's actually healthy for
Oh,
you.
it's a muscle, man. Meat's a muscle. So
Like it's healthy
Yeah,
for
I can't
you.
do awful.
I've eaten like beef
Nah, Jason,
liver,
chicken
like
heart's actually quite
cow
different.
liver.
I don't do offal
It's a-
either, but the Brazilian chicken heart, they do it. It's like Rodicio Rico style. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's
There's
almost like a
some
kebab.
lizards.
Jason, it's a muscle, mate. All meat is a muscle, so like it would
Yeah.
taste like meat, you know.
Yeah,
That's got
see,
different taste
I
though.
can't
Liver
do-
and
I can't do liver and kidney, and it's a texture thing for me. I can't do the
that's
texture.
not, that's
of it.
not like a muscle, innit? Have you ever see you were talking about bear? Have you ever heard of that bear that you get in British Columbia called blackcurrant bear? They eat
No.
nothing but blackberries and blueberries, and their actual meat turns purple, and it actually gives them a
Oh, I
slight
bet
fruity
that is
taste to
delicious.
the steak.
I
Apparently,
bet
it's
that's
beautiful.
good eating right there.
Yeah.
It's weird. Since I've come to Nova Scotia, I've eaten more deer meat than like you could swing a stick at.
I love deer meat.
Like everyone I
deer meat.
know goes out shooting. Like I've got like deer steaks in my freezer and fridge, like
Deer's nice.
constantly.
Deer meat is good. Deer meat is
It is
good.
Do you like sweetbread?
Sweetbread?
Sweetbreads.
don't you guys eat jellied eels in England? That's disgusting.
My
It is
my
wrong,
That's an East London thing. It's an East
and
London
it's
thing.
gross.
my favorite sweet it's got to be like I love cannolis. Oh, cannolis are so good. You guys,
Right.
you guys eat
And I got an
cannolis?
Aussie in the house. Yeah, we talked about kangaroo earlier.
Yeah, we have cannolis, but we're not big eaters of it.
Oh man, I love
They eat their
cannolis.
coat of arms. Oh, shit.
Kangaroos and emus.
Imagine what a drumstick from a fucking emu's like.
Oh my god.
That's
Big
some
one.
like Fred Flintstone type shit right there, isn't it?
Isn't emu
You have
like
those. You go to
cartoon
the
character?
theme park in America. They have
Just
those
get
big
beep,
giant turkey drumsticks, but they're not like normal turkey drumsticks. They're like it's like a hammer.
Yeah, it's got like
Oh,
all
really?
the steroids. Yeah, it's got all the
Yeah, I mean,
steroids
it's,
on
gi-
that
it's
turkey.
gigantic, man.
Yeah.
I don't know
Talking
where
about
they get
big,
what turkeys they're getting off.
have you ever
Oh,
had a
where's
tomahawk
Stelios
steak?
going?
What?
Oh, yes.
Have you had a tomahawk steak?
Tomahawk steak? Yeah, I've had. Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
man,
those
that's
things are
badass.
huge.
That's
Yeah.
badass.
I had like I think it was
Serious
like
shit.
it was $100 like tomahawk steak at the steakhouse once. It was huge. It was like, you know what I mean? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
See, we're in Nova Scotia, like their local delicacy is called rappy pie, and it's wrong.
Sounds very hip hop.
No, it's gelatinous goo. What it is, rappy or rappy pie or rapure, as the French Canadians would call it.
Rappeur.
Yeah,
Rappeur
like
pie.
you grate potatoes, and then you do this process with them raw, so they almost turn into this like mush, and then you get like chicken and vegetables and make a stock, and then you rehydrate these potatoes with the stock, and then you put the chicken. It actually tastes all right, but it looks like snot. Like literal snot with bits. It's the least appetizing thing you'll ever see.
Trust me, it's tasty.
But it tastes
Like an
good.
American chicken pot pie or something like that.
You've sold it.
No, it's not. I like pot pie. Like it's the weirdest thing you've ever fucking
But the
seen.
American chicken pot pies here in the U.S. that you get from like the store, the frozen ones that you just microwave or do whatever, because everything here is like microwave for the most part.
Is it potato though?
Yeah, but it's potato and chicken, but it's like a chicken puree, and the inside is like just this yellow goo with an orange carrot in it every now and again inside a breaded crust. There's like no.
No, there's no breaded crust, and the goo itself is where the potatoes broke down so much. It takes fucking ages to cook it and prep the potato, but it's broke down so much, it just turns into this gelatinous shit.
Just starts.
Yeah, literally. And you cook it up in the oven, fucking drown it in butter and molasses, and away you go. But the texture is wrong.
Fuck is
It's
molasses.
just wrong.
You guys, if you ever have a chance and you go to a Brazilian bakery, you guys have to try obrigadeiro.
What's
It's
that?
this like it's my favorite dessert ever. It's this little like chocolate covered thing and has condensed milk inside it. Like I'll show you a picture of it. It's about
It's
the
like a
most.
Cadbury egg.
It's just
I
the
mean,
most.
is it as good as jam roly poly?
I-
Roly poly! What a throwback!
these little things, and you can see
Oh,
there's
mummy,
like
Yeah. Ferrero Rocher.
there's like
Like-
condensed milk in there. Oh, I love it. I love these, man. I could eat
They look
about
like-
like
The truffles you get around here, you know, like
this is
Yeah.
when my mom used to make this for my birthday. She used to make
this-
a cake like this for me.
Is it better than Maltesers?
Man, I don't know what. I don't think I've ever tried Maltesers.
Yeah,
gonna lie,
you have.
Marcelo,
Where
That
you
does
are
look really nice, man.
in North America,
That does
their
look
version
nice.
of a Malteser.
Maltesers.
still.
Yeah.
Have you tried
Maltesers.
Malteser tray bake?
Oh, I've had these. Okay, no, not a fan of these. Not gonna lie.
No, Malteser tray bake, mate. Oh, it's quality.
No,
No, those are
Maltesers and a
called-
hot cup of coffee or a cup of tea, so it just dissolves in your mouth. When
The
you take it.
Maltesers are gross. They're
Bragadero.
called malted milk balls. Whoppers, what they
Yeah.
call in the U.S. and
Yeah,
they're
Whoppers
disgusting.
is a very similar thing.
Marcelo, what's it called?
Have you
Bragadero.
tried a deep fried Mars
Obrigadeiro.
bar?
Obrigadeiro.
Yeah.
Obrigadeiro.
Obrigadeiro.
But listen, I've got to tell you a story, right? I was in Florida once when I was young, and we were walking towards me and my brother. We wanted to go buy tickets to go
Carrie's
to
sister-in-law is Brazilian. They're
to go
good.
to go to Disney World, right? And there's this American dude in like this wooden hut, and
Go
I said
on.
to him, I need a couple of tickets to go to Disney World. He goes, oh my God, man, you got an accent. Where you from? I was like, oh, right, Brazil. Right, I'm just talking shit. He goes, I go, Brazil. Oh, you Brazilian? That's amazing, man. What'd you do? I'm like, oh, I'm a soccer player. He goes, what's your name? And the first thing that popped into my head, I went, Stel Nino, right?
Still Nino.
He goes, Stel Nino? Can I get an autograph? So I've signed
Oh
my
my
name,
God.
right?
Oh, you
Hey,
went full bore.
Mate, no. So when I told everyone the story back at school, like, I went through school being called Stel Nino, and I was never at that level to even be given a name of a fucking Brazilian footballer, for fuck's sakes.
Still Nino.
My nickname when I was a kid was Marcelinho.
That's the Nino.
Yeah, Marcelinho.
Just
Yeah.
put an Nino at the end, and you're just like
Yeah.
you're a Brazilian footballer.
Yeah, you're a Brazilian footballer. When I
My
used to play.
nickname was "You're in goal, you're shit." That was my fucking nickname.
Yeah.
My nickname was. Oh, do we have to take him?
It's like, you're in goal.
Celios.
You'll dive at people's feet. You're crazy.
I see you. You've been in a very heated debate with that Spurs line guy on Twitter. It was about Nuno. I have to ask you this though, right?
Every day.
Like,
Every
let's
day
say-
I
let's-
find someone.
Let's be real here, right? I don't think we're gonna get any top manager, right? Nuno, I think we can both agree, is not a top manager choice, right? I think we can all agree here. He's not.
You're
our.
going to trigger Will in a minute.
No. Listen. Will can think he has potential, but as of right now, I'm sorry, you're not a top manager unless you win league titles. Unless you've managed the big clubs, you're not a top manager. He is a manager with promise, at most. That's what
League
Nuno
manager,
is.
a top manager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never said he was a top manager. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
So
I
like.
was thinking like-
But in my opinion, if with the manager choice we have right now, he is the best candidate, isn't he? Like Stelios.
Nope.
Like, let's be real here. He is the best candidate. Who is?
Valverde.
So,
Valverde's
so-
not going to come.
So
He's
did,
really
did you
not.
see where that tweet started from? It wasn't me questioning Nuno. I think if we're gonna get a Southgate, a Martinez, a Potter, if that's the level, then I would take
And
Nuno.
Nuno, yeah.
I would take Nuno if that's the level, right?
Yeah.
But that's not what I was saying to the guys. I was talking about the quality.
Froze like he's doing DJ.
I was talking about if people think Nuno is going to play this really exciting, wow, super football. I'm like,
was not.
no, he's not.
It's
There'll be
pragmatic.
games where we do. There'll be games where we do, but overall, you're not going to get that kind of football. And that was my argument. And like everything on Twitter, that becomes 10 other things, and then it just fucking escalates into something.
Yeah, no,
that-
I had to. No offense, Stelios. I had to mute the notification because it was getting insane. I was getting one every second between you two.
I got a
Yeah.
new phone and I can't remember my Twitter login, and I've never been so happy in my life.
Oh man.
I care that much about Twitter. I'm not even going to bother.
So when I was in my in 2003 when I was in Korea, I used to look a little bit like Shane Fallon from Westlife, and I had the faux hawk and I didn't have a red beard because I was in the military. But I used to go to when I was
seen your photos.
yeah it looks a little bit like Shane Fallon, right?
It's very
I don't
Cameron.
know which one that is.
Yeah. So I used to go to
There's nothing wrong with that still.
bars
Absolutely fine.
bars in Korea, and the people there wouldn't know that, and so I would start singing "My Love," song from Westlife, "My Love," and they'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm such a huge fan." They signed autographs. I would drink for free. Everybody thought I was Shane Fallon. I used to sign autographs. It's pretty
Fucking
funny.
shameless.
Yeah. Hey, dude, whatever it takes, man.
Whatever it takes for free alcohol.
So I'm a professional footballer. You're a professional music artist. Has anyone else got a confession they want to share on tonight's
No.
show?
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan.
Oh, goodness.
I'm a dictator of a small country in South Ecuador.
I'm a dictator. Yeah, welcome. Marcelo, any hidden
This is
talents
why I
that
started
we
joining Spurs, because
Any
I love Daniel Levy as a dictator.
Any hidden talents I have?
know? Yeah.
So
and
yeah.
There we
stories.
go. Drum roll.
I mean, I don't know if I can do it anymore, but I used to be able to do like this wicked cool dolphin voice when I was a kid.
Wicked
Gotta
cool
do it.
dolphin voice. You've intrigued me now.
Some people think it's like a squirrel voice or like a dolphin voice.
I
Are
think
you doing
you
like
should
the,
try
the,
it.
the
I think you
clicks?
should try
You
it
doing the
now.
clicks, or are you actually talking?
Hold on, I gotta.
here we go.
I gotta drink.
He's
I gotta
warming up.
drink. Hold on,
Gotta
I gotta
warm up
drink.
for this.
I gotta drink.
Mute the
Oh.
mic and have a quick prep, and then
He's
come back.
picking it. He's picking it up.
La la la
for
la
me.
la
The
la
longer-
la.
The longer we
Me,
wait,
me, 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 me. You.
it's,
Hold on, here.
Oh no, that's
Very good.
solid. That's fucking solid.
Yeah, I can do
I'm
it. Like
impressed.
I don't know why. I could just. It's actually gotten worse as I gotten older because my voice got deeper. But it actually, when I was a little kid, it legitimately sounded like a dolphin noise.
Dude, do you know what you sound like? Have you seen that movie Predator?
Oh, what
guess
the clicking
maybe.
noise it makes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you talk
Yeah.
about all the noise it makes.
Yeah, I could.
And then, you guys remember like when I was real little, I used to have a really high voice. I could sing like Mariah Carey type stuff, right? And so I used to do like that Vienna boys choir type stuff. Like you ever hear that
Yeah.
like I see the
I
true
was
colors
doing
shining
choir.
through, like way up there. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
And that was always pretty like Vienna boys choir. I'm talking high pitched, like soprano stuff. It really sucked because then as I got older, my voice dropped and I couldn't do it anymore.
Have you ever heard of castratos?
Mm-mm.
There were. It was a practice, right, where they would actually castrate boys back in the day when the church had power, and so they would keep their high pitched voice range, but they would grow up and they'd have the vocal like mouth of a man, so they had the powerful sort, but they could hit that range. And there's actually. You can actually hear a recording. It was like because the last guy to die, who was a proper castrato, like he was just as they were bringing in the gramophones and shit. So you can actually hear it, and it's just weird to hear, like because it's like a child's voice, but like with the power of a man. It's just strange, but yeah, it's nuts when you get shit like that around the world. I thought I just
said
had the
nuts.
They didn't have those, did they? But
Guys, do you really think we will get Nuno?
I don't know.
I
think
honestly,
don't know.
I think it's gonna be Ryan Mason.
I
got some
wouldn't.
doubt. Watch.
I wouldn't bet
I've got a bet
money.
on Ryan Mason, mate.
I wouldn't bet money on Tottenham doing fuck all because like this has been the craziest 2 months I've ever like. How
does he
on
add- how
earth
does
have we
he-
got to this stage? We are a joke. We are a banter FC club right now, and it's
How
killing
is
me.
the
No, we've been that way for the last year.
How does he
No,
answer? the
no,
ball,
Will,
mate?
we are like we've gone to another level of banter
Yeah.
as manager bullshit.
Yeah, this has been real banter. I mean, I'm watching like memes like Valverde's learning English as the client Spurs. It's it's crazy, dude.
Do I think we're going to get Nuno? I literally I don't know because honestly, I was convinced we was getting a certain other manager, and that fell through.
Look, this is what Ryan Mason posted. All right, look at this on
We've
his
already seen it. We've
Instagram.
seen it.
I don't know if
We've
you've
seen
seen
it.
it. You
I
seen it?
haven't.
We've seen it.
Am I going to
Yeah.
be annoyed?
He said last bit of downtime before the preseason, and it's him resting in the
Not
couch.
this again.
He
this
is
again.
this guy
Not this
is
again.
the Spurs manager. He is a Spurs manager. He knows it. Everybody knows it. He is going to become Tottenham's next Spurs manager, whether you like it or not. That's why, Stelios,
I've
you
put
see
a bet on
me.
it, mate.
That's why you see me so desperate and wanting Nuno. Because if Ryan Mason is our manager next season, we are in a relegation battle. We are in a serious relegation battle. No fucking way Harry Kane
what a tosser!
tries. No way Harry Kane even tries next
I just
season.
don't think he's tactically adept enough to fucking manage a top tier team at this point.
We're fucked. We're fucked.
Oh, yeah,
you
you
said
get
you-
somebody to take that picture though. That's the boys.
He's
part about it.
29. He's not even fully qualified.
I know. It's like that
And he's
cannot
got
be
a-
an option. That
Stelios.
cannot be a fucking option.
Stelios.
Can't be.
Stelios.
I'm more qualified.
Stelios.
I'm more qualified.
Stelios.
Give him a CV.
Stelios. This is what Levy's gonna do. He's gonna be like, look, I wanted a next. You wanted Nagelsmann. We got it even better. We got Ryan Mason. They're both 29. They're both up and coming managers. It's like this is Levy 101. We wanted Nagelsmann. We got Ryan Mason. It's just like it's written in the stars. Nuno, I bet you next week it's gonna be like Nuno is gonna become Spurs manager, and then the next day it's gonna be like Nuno is not gonna be the Spurs manager because he asked for one member of the staff and he plays pragmatic football, and Levy doesn't want that.
Nuno, he's asked for
11.
more control over the transfers.
Yeah.
Right. So
Do we know that
straight
for a fact
away?
still?
That fucks Paratici.
I don't know what is fact anymore, Jason. If I'm going to be honest, I don't know what is
Well,
fact
that's-
anymore.
Yeah.
God knows. Are we even
'Cause
talking
it's
to
like-
Nuno? God knows.
Because if he has
Oh, I
asked
know.
that, he ain't getting the fucking job. Because what's the point of Paratici?
Honestly, other than
Like, do you
Fonseca,
know what I mean?
other than Fonseca and Conte, I don't think we've we've really spoken with any other of those managers. I think there was
I
those
think
have been
we spoke to Gattuso. I think we spoke to Gattuso.
Gattuso. Yeah, actually, yeah, Gattuso. But I think there was a big
I
blowback.
think we spoke to Ten Hag, but like it was like a brief like.
Yeah, but I think
conversation.
Ten Hag and Gattuso, I don't think he got past the heavy petting stage.
Yeah,
we
no,
didn't get the first base or nothing. Do you know what I mean?
It was more like, hey, you're interested in the Spurs, and they were like, fuck off, and then it was like, all right, then, you know what I
That's
mean?
what's
Like,
so embarrassing, though. Like they're in the press, and like everyone's turned us down. Apparently, it's just fuck.
yeah. Which I
Sign
mean,
Graham
someone.
Potter turned
you-
us down.
can you blame them? But can you blame them? I
He
can't
hasn't
blame.
turned us down, though, mate.
We haven't.
He
even
said he would never
approached
take
him.
a THFC position, and he's waiting. He's holding out for a top 4 club.
I thought he said he wasn't.
that what
gonna
he
take-
said?
I thought he said he wouldn't.
Potter,
take
that's
a
why I
top
said he's
four.
delusional.
When did he say that?
Let's see. I mean, granted, this was the Sun that posted it, but
He's contracted to 2025, Potter. It'll cost us 14 million to get him out of his contract.
Bullshit.
15 million pound, yeah.
Could
We're
be
not
used
going
on
to
a
pay
player.
that for Potter. We're not going to pay that for Potter.
I know,
We
but
won't even
it's-
pay
that's
Conte
shit-
15 million a year.
To be
that's
fair,
the
we
fucking
shouldn't even
cra-
we shouldn't even pay for that for Potter. Like, let's get real here. The guy's done fucking nothing.
If we're paying
No.
15 million to get a manager a contract, it would be fucking Ten Hag and
Yeah.
Pochettino. If
Or
PSG
Conte.
wanted it. Conte doesn't need to get bought out because he's still not.
Yeah, but I mean, Conte
Yeah.
wanted like 15 million a year, I think, or a season.
Yeah,
it was the problem.
see, for
It was
me,
the problem with the fact that he wanted another 200 million to spend in players. That was the point.
right?
So
See,
Hotspur related
that's
said
when
that-
I'm. Go on.
Graham Potter posted that he would reject any THFC offer as he wants a top 4 club. Brighton would demand a 15 million pound compensation fee, and that was today at
Potter's not
4:21
Right,
going
but
p.m.
let's get it real. If Tottenham actually went in for him,
So
and
we're
we
down
were
to
willing to pay
Southgate,
the money,
Martinez and Mason.
he'd fucking
Fucking
his arse wouldn't meet grass coming all the way to White Hart Lane.
It has to be Martinez, isn't it?
But that's why I retweeted it with a quote tweet, and I said so from a mid-table Sweden side to a mid-table championship side to a 16th place Prem side, and the only job position he'll take is a top 4. A bit delusional, isn't it, Mr. Potter? That's what I put on Twitter. So.
In my opinion,
Because he's magical, mate.
in my opinion, if Martinez, Mason, or Gattuso, right? Those are the 3 managers. If any of them are Spurs manager, I'm not gonna waste my time. No, I'm not even gonna waste my time. I'm not even gonna waste my time this season.
Do you think it's honestly
Martinez has already failed at the Premiership, has he not?
Yeah. So, like, do you think he's going to he'll be like, if they
You know
fail
what I
with
mean?
Martinez,
Like,
they'll get
how
Mason in?
desperate do we have to be? I mean, to be
There's
fair,
no one
we're
left.
very desperate.
Jason,
thing
there's no
is-
one left.
The thing
That's
is,
why I'm
There's
like
no one
Nuno.
left.
Like Nuno's the
no-
best
no
choice of a
people left.
shitty bunch. Just fucking pay him, give him what he wants, and get it fucking over with.
the thing
If you're
is,
not going to give Conte
Jason.
what he wants, why are you going to give Nuno what he wants?
Yeah,
Because Nuno probably wants a lot less than Conte.
you never know
Apparently, it's God knows.
that. He apparently Nuno wants 11 staff members.
Yeah, I'm not even talking
He wants
about
a 7.
staff. Like he's not going to demand a
Well,
£200 million pound budget.
Can I
Like,
ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Right, if you're Nuno,
Yeah.
why would you want to come to Spurs? What is it you want to achieve at Tottenham? What is it you want to do?
Right. See, here's the thing.
Stepping stone.
I'm going to answer that from a very jaded Tottenham supporter's point of view, and I'm going to be like, I wouldn't fucking come to Spurs. It's a shit show.
Yeah, but if you're Nuno,
But if
right,
I'm Nuno,
what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve?
I guess, and I'm reaching. If I was Nuno, it would be like, if I was the guy to actually get them over the hump, that would be a hell of a fucking thing on a CV.
What hump?
It is no, but
To get us
Stelios,
to win
okay,
something, to actually push us to where we think we should be.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Stelios,
So-
no. Let's be real here, though, right? There is a big difference between Wolves and Spurs, right?
Yeah.
Like it is a big jump.
Yeah.
Like him going from Wolves to Spurs, it's a big jump. It's a club. Okay, yeah, we're not at the best at the moment, right? But it's a club with a name. It's a club with a big fan base. It's a club with a
Marcelo,
lot of
you missed my point.
notoriety.
You missed my point. You missed my point. I'm not asking what is it about Tottenham that would make you come and join us. The question I'm asking is, if you're Nuno, right? I'm putting my manager's hat on now.
Aren't you, though?
What is it that makes me want to go to Tottenham.
And I'm
I want
explaining
to
that.
achieve.
Exactly.
No, I want to achieve.
No, exactly. You
wanna
get a
achieve
club.
success.
You get a club. Listen, you get a club with a big name, and if you have any little success with Spurs, like for example, if you get top 4, right?
If you
And
win a cup, you're a
if you win a
fucking
cup,
cult hero.
You
Okay.
just raise your stock that high. Like look at Pochettino. He went from
So what you're
Southampton
saying is,
to
no, I hear you.
Spurs to
So
now
what you're saying
PSG.
Well,
So
do you
what
see
you're
that,
saying
that
is-
link, mate? Do you want to share this?
What you're saying is, so what you're saying is, Nuno would want to come to Tottenham because he believes he can win a trophy at Tottenham.
No. I said he will come to Tottenham because any little success he has, he can use it as a stepping stone to further
Right,
advance his career.
Yeah, but
And I'm not
what is
saying
success?
trophy. I'm just
What is
saying
success
if he takes us, listen, in a lot of people's eyes, if he goes
Hmm.
and takes Spurs and get them top 4 for maybe 2 seasons, that is major success for
okay.
him.
So Nuno, for him to come to Tottenham, he has to believe that he can get top 4. Otherwise, why is he
Spurs.
coming to us? Yeah.
Well, no, for
I d-
him,
that's fair.
it's just to have success, right? Any form of success with Spurs, it would boost his level because we are a bigger club than
Look,
Wolves.
this is this thing you're talking about, man. Like managers, like who's coming? Look how many managers
Forget
that are out of
Conte,
work.
forget Zidane. Lucien, I think, has been taken. Ralph Ragnick, he's not going to come because of the
No.
comments he's made. in the
Lucien
past.
hasn't been signed yet. That's just in talks.
Oh.
Valverde isn't coming. Pirlo's shit. Fonseca isn't coming. Rudy Garcia isn't
Garcia,
coming.
no.
Victor Pereira isn't coming.
I don't
Roy
know.
Hodgson is retiring,
No.
hopefully.
Santo, no.
Rafa
Maybe.
Benitez, God, no, please, no.
Wilder,
Just
no.
kill me.
Lampard, no. Howe, no. Marco
No.
Silva, no. Labdia, no.
Patrick Vieira, imagine Patrick Vieira. I was
See-
talking about
See,
it.
guys, look, I think what I'm trying to say to you is this, right? If I
I'm
was
just
Sam
going for this
Allardyce
list here.
Tony Pulis. Oh, don't take Neil Lennon.
If I
You
was-
might find us some
if I was-
gems, but Jesus.
If I was Sam Allardyce or Pardew, I know why I'm
I'm
going
going
to
for
a
this
club.
guy.
It's because I know I can keep them up because that's what I do. I keep teams up. So if I'm Sam Allardyce or Pardew, that's why I would go to your club because I'm confident I can keep you up, right? If I was Conte, Pep, Klopp, I would come to your club because I believe I can win you major trophies, and that's why I would come to you. So if I'm Nuno, why am I coming to you? I'm coming to you because
He wants to prove the people that he can manage a top club, which Spurs,
do what with
although
them? And do what with them?
You take Roberto Di
But he
Matteo.
wants to raise his stock, and if he
He
comes
wants
to
to raise
Tottenham
his
and has
stock.
success,
Yeah.
it will raise his stock.
it will. If he gets top 4, Stelios, it will raise his stock.
Right,
It will.
So, okay, so I'm Nuno.
And I don't
I'm
think
Nuno.
we're that
I'm
many
gonna
players
come,
away from a top 4 push.
We're not.
I'm Nuno. I'm Nuno. I'm going to come
Yep.
to your. I'm going to come to Tottenham because I believe I can get top 4. Number 1,
Yes.
I've never done it. Number 2, the best I've ever done is 7th. And number
Yeah.
3,
Right.
am I going to get the backing for me to outdo City, United, Chelsea, Liverpool,
Yeah.
Leicester? No, I'm
And
not.
you know-
So if
and
I'm
you know what
Nuno-
manager-
If I'm Nuno and my ambition is to raise my stock and get top 4 finish, I'm not coming to Tottenham. I'm just trying to break it down methodology.
You know, you
the
just
method-
named.
the methodology.
You know,
of
you
it.
just named. You know, who you just named Mauricio Pochettino. He never finished
No.
top 4. No. Mauricio Pochettino before
Poch got
Spurs
top 6.
never.
Poch got
No,
top 6 with
but
Southampton.
that's not top 4. He's never finished top 4. He's never won a trophy. He's never, been in the top club. He's never done any of those things that you mentioned. And he went to Spurs. He got top 4. He did it. He showed people that he can manage a top club, and now he's in PSG, one of the biggest
No, it's
clubs in the
different.
world.
It's different.
No, it's not.
different.
It's not.
It is.
It's the same
tell you
thing.
why
It's
it's
a
different.
manager
No,
that
I'll tell
wants
you
to
why it's
prove
different.
himself. It's
No, I'll tell you why it's
100%
different.
is.
Marcelo, no, it's not. I'll tell you why it's different. Because Nuno, when he was at Wolves, he got in Neres, Navas, Moutinho.
No, but you're asking me. But that's the difference. But I'm not
No, let me
saying.
finish. Marcelo, one second. He brought in, and he was given top players to achieve, and he didn't. Whereas Pochettino, look at the players he was given and what he had to do, and he finished higher than Nuno with a far less better squad. So
Yes.
if I'm a chairman looking at the two, I'm thinking, fucking hell, Poch is performing miracles with average players, whereas Nuno is underperforming with
But
good
that wasn't the
players.
question
Right,
you
but that's
asked
not
me.
the question you
That's not
asked,
the question.
Neil.
You
To be
asked.
fair.
You
No,
asked.
no, because
you
he
asked
said-
me.
because he
no,
said
no,
Nuno's
you,
the same
no,
as
no,
Poch.
you,
It's not.
no.
It's
You
not.
asked me
No,
why
he-
would
Why
Nuno
he would want to
join
come.
join
Right.
Spurs? It's the same reason why
same with
Poch
Poch did, yeah,
wanted to
'cause
join
Stepping
Spurs because he
stone,
wanted. It was
Oh,
to
right,
prove himself.
right. Okay, sorry. You're right. Okay,
So
yeah.
I'm not comparing. I'm not
Nuno-
comparing Poch with like
Okay,
the
misunderstood,
quality
sorry.
of Poch with Nuno. No,
You're right, you're right.
Pochettino is a way
You're
better
right, you're
manager
right.
than Nuno.
Nah, if you want to quit,
But
if you
it's the
want to
same
compare
reason why
Harry
Poch
Potter
wanted to join
Poch,
Spurs.
I mean, woo.
Yeah, it's the same
I
reason.
don't think.
I mean, fair to
if I-
Nuno though. I mean, he's already finished top 4 in Spain, right? Got into his team to the Champions League in Spain. So
Yeah, look at the competition.
Did he
here,
really?
bro.
yeah, Valencia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, honestly, I don't know a lot about Nuno's track record. I haven't really looked it up. I just think he's a better manager. He has more experience than Graham Potter. He has experience than Roberto Martinez. He's at least won big games in the Premier League, and he's at least like with me, right? When I look at Graham Potter, especially when he plays the bigger teams, he often
So
gets
is David Moyes. So is Wilder when he was Sheffield United manager.
I understand, but like what I'm trying to say is when Graham Potter, when he plays a lot of the bigger teams, he gets psyched out, and same as Moyes. A lot of times when he plays the bigger teams, he gets psyched out. It's only this season where he's kind of done better. But with Nuno, I've noticed he does have a better game plan when he plays against the bigger teams. In fact,
Graham Potter, when he went back to
Will hates Graham Potter.
Graham Potter managed Swansea after they got relegated and couldn't finish higher than 10th. So you're talking a team that was already almost a Premier League side and couldn't finish in the top half of the table.
He's not a good manager. I don't know why these hipsters, would drink their Starbucks coffee. Think he's a good manager. He's not.
I just think if we get Nuno, we won't get relegated.
Yeah, no.
And at the moment, if we just need someone to hold us in the fucking league for long enough till Poch becomes available again, then fuck it, get him in.
Listen,
him in.
He is the best option that we have right now. I guarantee you that. Valverde, if he's not gonna come, I know you're gonna say that, Genty.
I'm scared.
I wasn't
Will's
going
gonna fall off.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to ask, see, because obviously, you've showed a bit of your, what's the term? You've showed your power level a bit, with the Dragon Ball Z top. Yeah. So I've got to say, so that thing in the background, mate, that is a massive ass figurine. So how expensive was that figurine, and what even is it?
This has actually cost me $50.
All right.
Yeah, this is just the Incredible Hulk from Thor Ragnarok.
All right.
Yeah,
I thought it was like one of those anime figurines, so it'd be like £200-300,
Nah, I got Wolverine. I got a lot of figurines, man. I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I like decorating my room,
I went the other way. I covered myself in tattoos instead.
I got this one. This one's the one that cost me the most. This cost me like 100 something.
Nuts, man.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money.
I just covered myself in Spurs scars.
I've got a lot of records, a lot of vinyl, a lot of DJ.
Oh, me too. Still, me too. Fucking.
Is that why you were doing
microphones.
that? Is that why you were doing that earlier?
Let's get. Put some vinyls here. There you go.
Oh, okay, Stel.
Who's that?
I've got about 1,000 records.
I don't have that many. I've got about
Big
300 LPs, I guess.
1994.
Oh wow!
I just buy football stuff. I have in my garage right now probably enough equipment to facilitate Stell's entire club.
What's that ball, mate? What's the significance
My
of that
son, if you were to go look in his room, has probably about 200 pairs of boots, and I'm talking like the elite versions from the plus versions from Adidas and the elite versions from Nike.
Jesus.
If anyone's still watching the show, can you please drop us some super chats? We need to fund Will's son's footballing career. He needs boots, footballs, jerseys, you name it.
His boots alone, I literally could have probably paid for 2 or 3 kids to play at his club with the amount of money I've spent on boots. At least 3 pair a season.
What's that ball behind you? What's
That's $900.
That ball's
This?
900.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, this is just a cheap $20 ball I got.
I thought there was like some significance to it or something because it's an old timey ball.
No. It's just
It's
an
the
old
origi-
school.
Yeah, it's just the original football back in the old days.
It's an old school football. Who makes it? I don't know. It says made in Pakistan.
Oh, why don't you get Stellinio to sign it? It will lose half its value.
At least
Still Nino.
It was like $25, $30. But I got it because my son, this is actually a size 4. When he was in U12, he had a bit of a weak shot. So this ball is a lot heavier than the newer ones.
Yeah, so you got them to. Yeah.
So, but it wasn't quite as heavy as like a futsal ball. So it was kind of like a good in-betweener. It kind of helped train strength. So that's
Who was the famous England player who played for? Was it Norwich? Who was the ones that Juventus got their kits from? You know what I'm talking about? Ooh.
Don't.
Hey, joining the
guys.
LED lights car.
that lightsaber's going to fall on your head and do some damage, mate. Watch out.
You know, I want to get one of those like real life lightsabers look alike, dude. Oh,
Yeah,
those things look so cool.
Those are cool. You can like drag them around.
All the high-end balls are made in Pakistan.
They all
by the
live in
way,
a different
for people
time
that
zone.
don't
Is that
know.
right?
Still fucking up.
Yeah.
I know, man.
Can't
I really need to go, man. It's been real. It's like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, man. I've got a game of airsoft in the morning. I've got to dodge plastic BBs.
I bet you're coming all your own.
Oh, it's only 12:30 for you, though.
Excuse me. You know I come fully kitted.
No,
I'm-
I bet you
I'm
have the
actually-
sniper on. You know, and you've got the little
Nah,
camera
fuck
to show
that
your
shit.
kill shots.
No. I've got an AR. I'm good. But I am a member of a team. You know.
Oh, you play airsoft?
I do.
Hold
mate.
on.
Super
Hold
chat.
on. I haven't.
Super chat.
Oh,
Wayne Bonner here's. I think Juve got their kits from Notts
He's right.
County.
No,
He's
it's
right,
county.
he's right.
So who was that?
That's right.
Who was that
Oh,
guy
excuse-
then?
That tenner is to get Will a blue cheese ribeye steak. Okay, I'll buy a blue cheese ribeye steak simply because you put it in there. I'll take pictures of it, I guess.
there you go.
I used to play
See-
airsoft all the time when I was a kid.
Because
I
I'm in
got,
Canada, though. We don't have to have silly orange tips on the end of our guns.
I know, it's so dumb. I hate
You don't
it.
have to have them here either. Some
No,
do, some don't.
In Massachusetts, you have to.
Probably, yeah, in Massachusetts you do.
Yeah.
You got weird laws over there.
Yeah, we're soft.
I've
I'll
got the
be
real
honest.
version of
I
that.
started playing because I was like, as a kid, I just like playing war. And B, it's a real. I'm running around like crazy all day Sunday. It's like a good.
It's a good workout. It's a good workout.
Really
Yeah.
is.
You hear
Especially
that?
because
No,
I
you
wear a
probably can't
plate
hear that.
carrier, so I sweat.
Guys,
Yeah, we don't play airsoft.
Can
I'm from the Midwest. We don't play airsoft. We do BB gun wars.
Will, you just play with real guns.
Not real guns, because then you'd be dead. But
Well, no. You go to shooting range.
yeah, we do that. But when I was a kid, we didn't do airsoft. We did BB gun wars. So we with actual metal BBs. But we
Oh,
shot
I
each
did
other
that
with.
in Britain. We used to have pellet guns, like the old air rifles, and like that.
Yeah.
We used to shoot.
Yeah,
we used to
pellet
go over
guns.
the woods. And, fuck, they used to work.
did you
And,
ever have
we-
that thing you put in your arm, like the slingshot?
Yeah. Do you
What's
remember
that?
the Black Widow catapults?
Black Widow was unbelievable, lethal.
Yeah. Oh, it was my pride and joy, and I took it to school for some reason, got it confiscated. I
Oh,
couldn't see
you
it
get in
again.
trouble.
Yeah,
with
me
kids at school.
too,
We used
me
to have
too.
rock.
Me
We
too.
used to have
Oh,
rock
same
fights.
thing.
You guys ever have rock fights?
No, that's
Where you chuck rocks
Throwing
at each other? Yeah.
no, I never did that.
I think that's, I think
Never
that's
have
an
rock
Ameri- I think that's an
Come
American
on
thing.
now.
But those Black Widow catapults, like, oh boy, they were
We used to
lethal.
have snowball fights where we'd stick rocks in them too.
I got one of them.
In England, we didn't use rocks; we used bricks.
We also
harder
think.
than bricks,
I'll
by
be
the way.
honest, dude. We didn't get a lot of fucking snow either, really.
We used to throw bricks at each other, and sometimes we'd throw.
Rocks are harder than bricks. Bricks break easier.
We used to throw doors at each other and metal poles. And, trees.
mud ball
We used to throw
fights.
Trees at, did you ever throw trees at each other?
Yeah,
Not trees, no.
full
No,
on,
when I
like,
was
oak
13,
trees.
so when I was, we had this thing called King in the Neighborhood. When I grew up, it was King in the Neighborhood, and so we literally have to fist fight for it, and it was a fight till you drop. So you keep fighting one person at a time, and then the winner was King of the Neighborhood. And
It sounds like what gypsies
so we were.
do.
I don't know. I'm not a gypsy, so I wouldn't know.
It's
Are
like
you
that-
sure
what's that
you're
movie
not
with-
part pikey?
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
mean.
pretty sure.
What's that movie with Brad Pitt when they just fist fight to be the king or something?
Snatch.
Fight Club.
Snatch. You talking about
Snatch,
Snatch?
Yeah, this sounds like
Snatch.
When he's a
Snatch.
But no, there's about six
I
of
love
us,
that
6 or 7
movie.
of us boys in the neighborhood, around the same age. We used to fight, and yeah, it was King of the Neighborhood. And so
See, I'd be-
the King
I'd
of the
be well
Neighborhood
f-
was the boss.
I'd be well fucked off because you're 6'3", I'm 5'8", and I'd be like, well, this is a fucking stupid game, isn't it? It's like, well,
there was one boy who was older than
who's
me.
going to win this fight.
There was one boy
Just
when I
hit
first
him,
moved
boss.
there. There was one boy who was older than me when I
For the
first moved
kneecap.
there, and I was actually a bit of a sissy when I moved to that neighborhood. I used to cry all the time,
And then last year you
the
got
first
over that.
year, last year, not even this past year it's started up again because of Tottenham. But the I mean, didn't you watch it on We Are Tottenham TV, right? So but no, he beat the snot out of me, and then he kind of he kept teasing me on the bus. And then one day I got off the bus and my mom was waiting on the porch. I got off the bus and he had teased me real hard. And did you guys ever see The Christmas Story?
No. I
Marcel
know
probably
of it.
has.
I know of it.
Yeah.
Red Ryder, BB gun, or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know how he jumps on that bully and just beats the snot out of him? Well, I pulled it straight up. I get off the bus. I see my mom. I burst into tears, turn around, and just jump on his chest. And I'm pounding his face in with my fist. Boom, just pounding him. And my mom had to pull me off of him. And then after that, I never lost King of the Neighborhood again until we moved away.
So glad I grew up in London.
Yeah,
Why is that soft?
I didn't really get in a lot of fights in Brazil. I mean, yeah, but you know, it's not a good idea getting in fights in Brazil unless you're looking for, you know, to end up in a casket. That's
My wonder years, that's true.
because let's just say, you know, if you fight someone in Brazil and they're a sore loser, it's
Almost got stabbed in the face.
Yeah, I rather avoid that.
To be fair, actually, when we were growing up, if you ever got into a fight, it was always a fist fight. Nowadays, it's
Blades.
yeah, knives, acid in your face. It's a different environment. It's not a fair.
Where do they get acid from? Can you just go buy acid at Tesco or something, or what? Like, where do you get acid from?
Order online.
Yeah.
I'll say this:
You
I've
know
been in more fist fights in America than I have in Brazil.
Hmm.
In America,
A lot of
I
fist
mean,
fights. I don't know.
and I'll
My
say
kid's
this.
never been in a fist fight.
The last fist fight I've ever been to was like when I was 12.
Would it not be your wrestling though as well, man? Because you're just like someone who's trained in martial arts. That's the ironic thing. You train to never use it because
No, yeah.
because you've got the self confidence. You don't have to rise up to the occasion because you know I'd fuck you up if I wanted to, but you
Like-
don't have to do it.
Got a lot of bar fights growing up. I got in all kinds of dumb fights growing up.
I've only been the last fight I've been to when I was 12, and then I did wrestling in high school and I never fought anyone.
Yeah.
And I mean, like
Jumped out of moving cars to get in fights.
I've
I think
had
that's what they're better for that over there still because wrestling is massive in America and like South America. In Britain, it's not, man. And see if you fight like an American that's got good college wrestling, you're fucked. They take you to the ground. You can't do a damn thing. man.
Nah. We're from London.
No,
We've got
mate.
street fights. Just one kick to the
No.
balls. It's a different ball game.
That's true.
You got to play dirty.
well,
You gotta
I
play
mean,
dirty.
if you
You
want
gotta
to
go
play,
dirty. There's
yeah,
no
but if you
choice.
want
Yeah,
to,
but that's the big
No.
kicks in the balls
About
are
my
universal. I'm
But
just
I'll
meant
say,
like
But I'll say this though: if I cat them legs, I saw one single leg, high crotch, you're down. And if we're gonna play dirty, then headbutt, elbow,
Yeah.
That's the thing. In, like all the
Fingers to the
British
eyes,
movies, they always
Fingers to the
headbutt
eyes.
food.
No,
Fingers to the
I'm
eyes.
telling you right now.
Fingers to the
the
eyes,
easiest
high
thing,
couch.
the best shot is I've been in a ton of bar fights, especially when I was in the military. Military people fight more than anybody. The best thing to do is you just walk up to a guy, you get in his face when he's talking smack, you just punch him straight in the throat. Right here, he's done.
Yeah.
If not dead.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with
Sucker
that.
punch,
Though.
though.
One
You can
shot
kill
straight to the
somebody.
Sucker punch, though.
But
You can kill
Straight to the
somebody
jib.
by
Don't
punching
even
him in
hit
the
him in the
throat.
face. Just hit him straight in the throat. He can't breathe for like 30, 40 seconds if he's not.
Actually,
permanently
honestly,
injured.
Or ever
killing
again,
someone
yeah.
by- no,
Yeah.
killing someone by punching him in the throat's a bit of an urban myth.
I never.
Your
You
throat's
can break their
actually a lot
esophagus.
tough-
Yeah.
You'd
I've
have to be
never,
fucking
I've
lucky.
never, I never hit. I haven't hit someone in a long. I mean, since like I said, since I was 12. But I did have.
You hit someone since I was about probably 26.
I did have a confrontation with someone though
Yeah,
at a
no
party, but
perfect
I didn't hit him. I just ended up just putting him in a rare naked choke.
That's what I was going to say. But like, do you not find
Yeah.
that with wrestling, man, when you take someone to the ground,
Yeah.
their immediate response, like just natural instinct, because they haven't been trained, is immediately to get up. And as soon as they try and get
Yeah.
up, what they do, they turn. They show your
Yeah,
ribs
they
back.
turn. Yeah,
They
you
expose their
turn.
back.
Street fights are
Yeah.
different though than
That's it.
street fights are different than gym fights for one reason. The street
Right.
fight is all about confidence because
Yeah.
most people want to avoid getting into fights.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot of times you'll see especially when I was a clubber when I was in the military. So we used to go to a lot of EDM clubs and stuff like that. And you get these little guys that they'd be all hot and bothered and they just want to fight. You know what I mean? And a lot of times they can be intimidating just simply because of the fact that they're confident. But like I said, you just walk up to somebody, and you just pop them right in the throat one time, and then they just belly over, and then you can literally just knee them in the forehead, and it's over. Like you don't even have to do anything. Like all this people that jump around and they're swinging at people's faces, it's all a waste of time.
See, whenever I know someone's heated, I always keep 4 feet.
I'd always
4
love
feet.
to learn like proper boxing.
But I'm 6'5"
because
and
when you
my
see
arms
those
are like
people,
4 feet long.
That's
when you see
true.
the-
That's true. No, it would be different. I mean, obviously, I would never pick a fight with someone that's tall as well. I mean, even with my wrestling, experience, that would be
Yeah, Marcelo,
that would not be my
I did
my
the
advantage.
Depends.
I did 1 year of Wing Chun,
Depends.
right? I did 3 years of kickboxing, and I did
Yeah,
1
so
year
you're
of
well trained.
and I did 1 year of boxing. Not really, it was years ago. But the kickboxing stays with you for a while, I guess. But I tell you now,
boxing.
if you ever
is it?
come up against someone who's done, I don't know what it is like with them, but if you come up against someone who's done karate, they're such a solid fighter. They're such a solid person. Coming up against someone that's done karate is not nice.
No, mate. If you heard what Bruce Lee, man, Bruce Lee says it best, mate. If you
He
just
did
if you
Jeet
just
Kune Do.
learn,
He did Jeet Kune
yeah,
Do.
but well, I mean, he's the founder of MMA for a lot of people. But he literally said, man, like someone who learns boxing and wrestling will beat any of the
Yeah,
karate, taekwondo,
A
martial
boxer's
arts.
stamina is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but
just-
like he can dictate the fight where he wants to go. If the guy's like throwing mad kicks, he's like, I don't want this. Takes him to the ground. The guy's fucked.
I never.
Look at MMA though.
But then if he's
Karate
boxing, he gets some
fighters in
boxing
the
range.
UFC.
I've never
Yeah, the
done.
karate-
UFC, isn't it?
I've never done any hand
But
like.
no, there's hardly
punching.
any good karate fighters in the UFC, mate. I think the best one's
There's
Stephen
a-
Wonderboy Toyinson, and he's the only one that's.
There's a reason for that though.
That's what I mean. Is that
Wasn't there
karate's
one
not
Japanese guy who was pretty good for a while?
You talk about Ryzen.
Oh no,
the young
you're
boy?
on about Machito, aren't you?
Yeah,
No,
Machida.
Machito, he was a
He was
karate guy,
Brazilian though. Yeah, he was
He was
Brazilian.
Brazilian.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
but didn't he?
it was-
Didn't yeah, but wasn't he of mixed race though?
Yeah. His father was
Yeah.
Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of
Oh,
Japanese
okay.
fuck,
He
people.
did the he
had
did the
a
crane kick,
thunderous
mate.
fucking.
Oh,
he had
that-
a
he did
thunderous
the-
fucking punch on him. as
Mate,
well.
no, the best thing he ever did, man, with Randy Couture, he actually did the fucking Karate Kid kick. He actually
Yeah.
stood there, did that, and then went bang with a crane kick and knocked him out, man.
I mean, look, I've never done any hand-to-hand combat. I've only done grappling. I've only done wrestling and jiu-jitsu. That's about it.
Yeah.
I never really liked
Jiu-Jitsu
idea-
is brilliant.
yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu is brilliant. That's what Steven Seagal did.
You know,
They
you
hit in the
take
face a lot.
Fucking Steven.
Yeah,
Steven
Seagal.
Seagal. No,
Yeah,
he's
Seagal.
Akita. He's Akita, mate. He's that bullshit Akita.
He's a fucking
It's no jiu-jitsu. It's Akita. He did that weird,
Aikido,
like,
yeah, he reversed.
where they pretend they could just like force you
yeah.
to do. Like,
Jiu-jitsu is just the thing I like about it is just it takes a lot of like patience. It's all about technique, you know,
Mate,
getting
you know
wrist
what?
control.
I haven't got time for all of that. That's why I liked kickboxing. Kickboxing was quick. Like you could pick it up really quick. You didn't have to.
But the thing is though, in my opinion,
I'm bored. I'm so bored.
if I'm
No,
if,
it's not like
if
that,
someone
man.
if someone it's like for me it's like a chess match. When you get someone that's like good, you know, like you kind of have to like realize like you can't leave your arm in place or else you get arm barred. You know, when you set up a Kimura, you have to make sure you know you got your hands locked in. You got it, you know, his arm. You got your leg in position. Like it's all a transition, and you're also fighting that guy's transition. Like he's also trying to transition and make his moves, and you kind of have to like work with the flow and try to assert your dominance over him in a lot of ways.
Capoeira was always more fun for me than jiu-jitsu.
I can't do capoeira. I'm not like.
See,
my dad can. My dad can do capoeira.
I always thought that would look cooler.
Joe
than-
Rogan explained it best with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's like, you have to get very comfortable with being in uncomfortable positions.
Exactly.
Like you have to realize that's not the end of it. You know what I mean? That's where it starts.
Yeah.
listen,
But in
man,
a
I'm in my
street
40s.
fight, a brilliant
You do.
street fight, if you knew
But
jiu-jitsu,
you know what I mean?
like, you'd fuck people up, man. Like Brazilian
I don't like
jiu-jitsu.
fighting. I never started a fight. That was my rule in my house. My dad had one rule. He said you can never start a fight, but you can always finish one.
I'll tell you my main
So-
problem in
Marcelo, can you
life,
do an Emirati
I
roll?
never knew when
What?
to fuck down.
No, I wasn't. Listen. I was only like a white belt. Like I never really got in that deep into
Never-
jiu-jitsu.
Didn't
I
get
did
your blue belt?
I did get 5 years into
How the
wrestling.
hell
I
is
loved
there still
wrestling.
40 odd people watching, or
Personally-
39 now.
Personally, I loved wrestling, but in the
They're
jiu-jitsu,
as messed up as us.
the only thing I know really how to do well in jiu-jitsu is the rear naked choke.
That's a good one with that Aaron.
Yeah.
They've put Muay Thai. I think Muay Thai is one of the best striking ones.
Mate,
You just-
kickboxing's I'm telling you,
Dude, that
kickboxing's
clinch,
brilliant.
Muay Thai clinch
No,
is fucking
Muay Thai
lethal.
clinch,
Muay
mate.
Thai
Muay
is
Thai
big.
clinch.
It's lethal.
Yeah.
Muay Thai is just without the rules.
Do you know
And
I
they
can still
actually have
balance
throws in
on
proper
one foot
Muay Thai as well.
with my leg
They do,
out,
like,
even now.
throwdowns.
No, mate. Have you ever seen the famous? It was a famous fight. It was called the fight that opened up that showed the world
Watch the
Muay Thai.
kickboxer movies.
It was the famous American kickboxer. It was the do you watch the UFC, Marcelo?
Although,
and,
Duke
Duke Griffiths's older brother, who was
Yeah.
a professional kickboxing champion, who was like undefeated as to fuck, and he fought a Muay Thai fighter, and they were fighting, and he was in that kickboxing side stance, and he was fighting the Muay Thai fighter, and those Muay Thai leg kicks, mate,
He's just
decimated him.
different. He's
They
just
took him out. They took him out in a stretcher after the 8th round.
let me
Muay
tell you
Thai-
those guys in Muay Thai, you know what they do? They break their shins, they crack their shins, so their shins heal and it becomes stronger. So those guys kick banana
Marcelino,
trees
my
down.
flatmate at uni was a Muay Thai black belt. He was trained by Master Sken, who is apparently one of the greatest. And this
Dude,
guy's
this
shins,
is a small world.
You're saying the kickboxing, man. But I'm trying to say to you is that the kickboxer would come up to the Muay Thai fighter, and the Muay Thai would just absolutely smash him in the legs because
This
they're
what
not
I'm
used
saying
to
to
it.
you.
and
He
he'll
was
be down.
this. My flatmate was Muay Thai, and his trainer was Master Sken, who is renowned. And my mate, the Muay Thai boy, his shins were like rock. I mean, rock. And he used to bash it against the corner, like you get like a concrete pole. He used to bash his shin against the corner.
Break
and
him.
over years, it just became so solid, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Imagine getting hit with that.
Tony Ferguson does that because he's a crazy fuck.
Yeah.
You see-
There's a video of this guy this Muay Thai fighter breaking a baseball bat with his
Dude,
leg.
his
That's
master,
crazy.
his master. You know, when you do like you do a kick and your legs out at the horizontal.
Yeah.
He used to have pupils or students in his class sit on his leg as he was doing that.
Wow.
That was the strength. That's the strength in the leg, though.
That's insane.
We got Wayne Bonner here. He says he doesn't indulge in violence. He's only had to use it once in his 47 years. Great stream, by the way, fellas. Yeah, like I said, I don't use it unless I have to either. But if I won't harm you.
I do want to go back to jiu-jitsu though. I want to get to at least a brown belt around there.
5 years easily.
Yeah, take 5 years. Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu is one of the only fucking martial arts where they don't take the piss with the belt system, because you can become a black belt in karate at some shitty dojo because they want to like give you money. You keep giving money so you can keep getting your belts, and you could be like a black belt in under a couple of years. But they don't do that in jiu-jitsu.
The reason why I like jiu-jitsu though, it's for me the one martial art, right, where if you learn, you can beat someone bigger than you.
Yeah.
Just by and you know, Royce Gracie proved it. You know, he beat
exactly.
you know, that kickboxer. Dan Severn. He also beat that big kickboxer, which was like probably the size of Will. And you know, Royce Gracie was like 170.
He wasn't the great Gracie. He wasn't the best Gracie. They chose the worst Gracie to send over to prove how good jiu-jitsu is.
Guys, who's the best Muay Thai fighter? Sorry, the best Tottenham Hotspur fighter.
Tottenham Hotspur fighter. Oh.
I know it isn't.
It's not
Harry Winks.
Dyer.
It ain't
Wings.
I'd say Dyer or Sissoko probably.
Do you think Regulon's a babyface assassin?
Yeah,
I would say what? Wait, are we talking about of all time or in this squad?
No, the current squad.
If it's of all time, it's Dave Mackay. End of story. Thank you very much.
No.
Honestly, I feel like Lloris could be pretty nasty enough.
Yeah, Hugo, bro.
Yeah,
Hugo, bro. No, bro. Hugo looks
gets snapped in half.
Bro,
what about Lamella?
He's got that reach.
No, what about Ori?
He's got that
the
killer look in
attitude.
his face, though, isn't he?
Serge Aurier is built like a brick shithouse, mate.
He is, isn't he? Now those.
Hey, what about Joe Rogan?
Yo,
Joe
everybody.
Rogan is in the gym like all the time. He's a big guy.
I'm just gonna say this: everybody's underestimating Sonny, bro. Sonny's got military training.
That's true.
Sonny's
got
military training, bro. Sonny's got military
South Korean,
training.
so he's got fire.
Like 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah,
he might have done taekwondo when he was a kid or something like that, but that's it.
But the thing is, he got the highest score out of anybody that's done the military training. So he must have been pretty good.
Honorably. I mean, come on.
I'm just
That's
saying,
the chemist. That's the chemist.
I'm just saying, you know.
He's laughing his ass off right now.
Højbjerg would be up for a scrap.
I feel like Højbjerg would just take shots. He would just eat shots and just be like standing, bleeding, staggered, just still in it. Like you could just keep.
Be like Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
No, actually, though, if he wasn't injured, I think Lo Celso could fucking hold his own. He's got a bit of fucking fire in him.
Nah, he's too much of a pretty boy.
Yeah.
No, have you seen some of those?
I said Lamella over Lo Celso. Lamella's crazy, man.
Right.
Lamella is crazy.
What about Sanchez?
All the players say he's
Sanchez would fall over.
Sanchez would
fall over in the fight.
Yeah, he doesn't have the IQ.
He might win a gunfight. There you go.
Sanchez would punch himself. Sanchez would punch himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane can pack a punch, but in my opinion, I think Kane is a little bit too soft. I think he's too soft.
Let me go for this one.
I think Højbjerg, Højbjerg or Sissoko. I think
it's all about personality, man. Like my oldest son,
Serge Aurier, I'd say over Sissoko.
Listen,
don't
forget, Eric Dyer, he stormed into the Spurs to get someone.
Too dumb.
Yeah, he jumped.
Too dumb.
No, exactly. That's why he makes a good fighter.
No, he's too dumb. He'll be like stiff like a bull.
To be fair, though,
he's slow. He's slow. He couldn't turn like all you have to do is just run. No, all you have to do is run around
throwing the
circle.
punch like that.
What about Dele Alli?
Yeah, you just be like,
what, fucking Twinkle? Yeah, no. Instagram model, no.
Again, don't count out Lamella though, because the thing is, when you're fighting somebody like that who's like literally crazy, they're totally unpredictable. You don't know what they're gonna do.
Lamella will eye gouge. He'll bite you.
Exactly. He's insane.
You
The guys all say that. I mean, I've like in interviews, they said he gets this like crazy look in his eye and he wants to fight. He's always trying to pick fights with people and stuff.
Yo, my boy Jaffet is pretty built though. I'll say that.
True.
Yeah, Jaffet. He's
Lamella.
also.
Aaron says Lamella would bring a blade. But just a funny story. It's all about personality, though. Personality has a lot to do with it. Like introverts
Like
just
Ben
tend to
Davis.
not
Ben
like
Davies.
to fight, and a lot of professional sports athletes are introverts. Believe it or not.
I think Bergwijn would cry rather than fight. Honestly, mate.
Did you see that
Yeah.
picture of Bergwijn with his kid? You know that I posted. He's like flipping off the camera, and his kid is like there. Like, I'm like, what are you doing, man? You know, what a clown he
Like
is.
my oldest son won't fight at all. Never been in a fight in his life. 13 years old, never been in a fight in his life.
What about on the
it's not,
pitch?
because even
Yeah. What about on the pitch?
no.
He won't. Oh man,
But he'll go in and take something, a little piece out of people's shins when he gets mad and stuff like that. But he's not getting in a fight.
No, but
I
like
mean,
no, but
he'll
like I'm not
fight to the
I'm
ball.
not saying like get in the swinging match because that's how you get a red card. But you know, like I remember when I was a player, you know, I would hit someone's shin and get a little cheap ball.
He doesn't do it intentionally. He only does it when he gets mad. He's headbutted some people sometimes to get clear of defenders, and a little swap across the face with the head.
That's the last time I was in a fight was on the rugby pitch. It's the last time I was in a fight.
Getting someone's
My
face
youngest
get
son.
them irritated.
Don't
You know,
rugby, man.
it's fun.
My youngest son, when he was in kindergarten, there was a fourth grader who was making fun of my third grade son. My kindergarten son stood up, punched him square in the nose, bloodied it.
I'll say this: I wasn't a fighter, but I was a great instigator. Oh, I could just
Fucking my brother.
get.
I think
he
Stell
started
was.
getting
I think
because of my
Stell was as
brother.
well. I think he used to shitstorm.
I can
Oh,
instigate
constantly?
anyone. And you know what? It's funny because I would just start shit, especially between my friends, and then like I just sit back and eat the popcorn and just like laugh at everybody.
Like my little
And, you
brother,
know,
dude.
like,
My little
in
brother used to do that all
football-
the time. He'd hit his mouth and he'd run his mouth the whole time, and he would get himself in trouble. And then some guy would swing on him, and then because some guy was swinging on him, I would have to come in and swing on the guy
involved.
swinging on my brother, because nobody hits my brother but me. That's the rule.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Oh, I used to instigate a lot in the football pitch. That's how I got a lot of people to get sent off. It was just I loved it. Oh, I like when someone just got on my face, I'll just like fall down, pretend it was like a headbutt.
like
I used to do
Rivaldo.
that shit. Yeah, bro. I
You're
used to
such
do
a
that
South
shit.
American. That is such a South American.
Yeah, like I'll
Mr.
instigate. I'll
K,
be
they
like,
don't
"What's
do
up?
much
What's up?
fighting
What's
in
up?"
hockey
And then he
anymore.
gets a headbutt, gets a red card. I'm like, get fucked.
They don't do much fighting in hockey
like
anymore.
Enforcers
LaMelo
aren't really a thing
Martial.
anymore, are they, Will?
All about winning at the end of
Like
the
the
day.
enforcers in hockey, they're not really a thing anymore,
Yeah.
are they?
I mean, they're a little bit, but not much. Not
Yeah,
like
but
they
not
used to be.
compared to what they used to be.
Yeah. No,
There's
anytime
a-
somebody throws a punch, the person goes down the first time to get somebody set into the penalty box. It doesn't last. Like back in the day, it used to last 2 or 3 minutes. Like they just sit there and drop you blood. You see blood dropping on the ice and all kinds of fun stuff. Nowadays, one guy throws one punch, the other guy goes down, puts the other guy in the penalty box, and then, I mean, that's how it
There
is
was a
nowadays.
line brawl in
All
the
right,
game
guys,
not
I
too
gotta go,
long
though.
ago,
Yeah,
1
me
o'clock.
too. It's
Yeah.
been
This
an
stream needs to
emotional
end. It's
day.
already 30 minutes past its limit, but
All right.
just having to
See you
get
later,
my
lad.
chat. Hub chat.
See you,
what I have
Marcelo.
right now.
Take care.
Been emotional.
See you, Jason.
Same.
See you later, Jace.
Bye.
Why me and Ginty still here? I don't know, but he's gone. There you go.
Left. Screw it. I won't even say goodbye. All right. But
Yeah,
plug
boys,
yourselves,
I'm gonna go
fellas.
as well.
Plug yourself, Sal. Plug
Oh,
yourself.
Tottenham away. Just find it. It's on
Just
YouTube.
subscribe to us.
Yeah, there you go.
Tottenham away. And Kieran.
You can find me just here sometimes on the rant streams, but also you can follow me on Twitter at Solidarity FC, as in football club.
Mom has it muted because I'm talking about my little brother getting beat up. He knows already. But yeah, go follow him on Twitter and also check out the stuff. But guys, thank you very much for watching the stream. Next stream will be possibly Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boys on Tuesday. But yeah, anyway, Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you, Aaron, for staying up with us till all 5 o'clock in the morning UK time. And Delios is gone. Folks, you stay strong. You stay Spurs. And these I like these THFC rant streams because there's some football in it, but a lot of it's just messing around type talk. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Become a YouTube member. Become a Patreon member. Check out our store. Anyway, see you guys next time. Stay strong. Stay Spurs. Peace out.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go now.